It's like watching a bunch of retards trying to fuck a doorknob out there.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
5 minutes later.
Arwen. Tolenilu. Ichaer gwannar navalannos sibado no kirar.
Do you wanna take a life? Do you wanna cross that line? Because it's a long way back from hell.
Now, what I've got here is a scrotum and nothing else.
I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
Here's to the Army and Navy and the battles they have won. Here's to America's colors, the colors that never run.
May the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
Let's do that again. Hey, everybody. What is up? It's Monday night. Yeah, we will talk about, I see Axonar video dropped. We'll discuss that in a little bit. But first, I would like to say hello, everybody. This is going to be a square up for FNT. Little news here and there. We'll go as long as we can. But let's see who's here first. Silver, Dr. Schlurpo, Buffalo Blue Bear, Nico, Arkham, Eric K. the Mod, B-Chain. I'm going to go up a little bit. Nasty Pappy, Rock Bottom. Welcome to Monday Night Tights. Yes, welcome to Monday Night Tights. We wear our tights 7 days a week. David Frederickson, Christmas Carol. I can read that. Crimson Apple, Daniel Taylor. Man, it takes me a minute here. Big Bob for JC. Viceroy Red. Case 21st. Richard Dower. Greenhead 24. I just want to say hi to Dr. Schlurpo one more time. Joshua Curtis. You know, where's Ray Pitler? We have Dr. Schlurpo, but no Ray Pitler. That's Ray Pitler. Okay. Nordstrom. And page 1, we said hello to you. Captain JP, hello to you. And one more person. I want to say hi to one more person. Spiley Ketiv. Oh. Spiley KTV or Ketiv. Hail. Or I'm just having a stroke. Wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the first time. Hello. Okay. What are we going to talk about today? Oh, you know what? I have no idea. Let's look at and see what Steph, my nerdy home, who was actually at my house earlier getting her hair done by Melissa. Let's see. That's why I decided to sit in for her on Versus today since we stole her. Oh my goodness. Man, there's actually a lot. There's a lot. The Odyssey has made the GDP of a small European country. Rings of Power has released a season 3 trailer and schedule, and the news just gets worse. Ryan Gosling is Ghost Rider. That's a thumbs up. That's a big thumbs up. Sean Levy is directing Ghost Rider. I'm not going to call that a thumbs down. I'm going to call it this. What else do we have? Simu. Oh, God, I got to read that. Our boy Simu Liu. Alan Richson, who suffers from TDS. I think it's fatal in his case. But I do like his Reacher show. I just don't listen to any of his interviews. He is kind of a meathead. But he's in talks with DC, but it's not Batman. And of course, I forgot his name now. They recast, they cast T'Challa's son. We'll get into that a little bit too. They cast T'Challa's son when they could have just recast T'Challa. Yeah, it's oh boy. I wish I could tell you guys more. But half measures is the best way you could describe what direction they're going with in the MCU. And it's just it is looking like they're going away from the MCU, but we've been saying that for what, 2 years now? And they always find a way. I think somebody put up a poster of that said writers, and it showed a female, which they have, a female Ghost Rider leading Johnny Blaze. And I'm sure, it'll be the son of T'Challa, who is T'Challa Jr. being led around by Shuri and the 50 women who run the isolationist ethno-state of Wakanda. And for my part, I hope they stay that way. I mean, it's obviously worked out for their country to isolate themselves from every other country in Africa. And look at how they have prospered by not getting involved in any other country in Africa. Based Wakanda. That's right. I support their political system completely. And it seems to be working out. They've got force fields that open and close due to a water turntable that goes ticka, 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 and some drums. I mean, that's awesome technology. They choose their leaders by fighting. Not against that either. I am an African expert. It's in my Twitter bio. And Twitter is the real world. Twitter is the real world. Carriage put paid to female Ghost Rider. I gotta find that trail. I gotta find that poster. I don't know if I bookmarked it or not. It's pretty funny. It's AI, but it's pretty funny. Why penetrate? Well, is that what you're doing right now? I mean, I'm not going to question what you guys do and the 9% gals, what you guys do during the streams. You do you. I'll just try to be quiet in the background while you're penetrating. That's what they need. Wakanda vision. When Black Panther 3 comes out, it has to come out in Wakanda vision. Yes. I am not here for judgment. Kind of don't want to know what you guys are doing sometimes when you're listening or watching, but I am not here for judgment. Waka waka. All right. Where do we want to start? I kind of want to start with the Rings of Power because it's funny, and we're just going to go right to all right. Where did it go? There it is. It's total film. Oh, I didn't I screen captured it. I did not repost it, so I'm not going to be able to get to the link unless I go down here, and I'm trying to kill time till I find it. And I got to scroll down there. No, that's not it. That's it. Okay. So, as you know, the Rings of Power was announced to come out this year. They had a Comic-Con presentation. Celeborn has finally shown up, and he's going to be Guy Ladriel's lover boy, lady boy. I don't know. The Balrog is going to have Simon Pegg's voice. They're bringing in the Nazgul, but they gave him a new name called the Naznagula, whatever the fuck it's called. It's a made up name by them. It's going to be basically the men who fell to the ring and became ring wraiths. That took hundreds of years. I still predict it's going to take a week, and I wouldn't put it past them to give us our first Nazgul. Now, I make these jests, and they're jokes. But I also, if some of you recall, made a joke many years ago that when I first heard that Bad Reboot Rejects will be taking over the Lord of the Rings show, did not know the title, and I'm all, you know what we're going to get? We're going to get a fully armored Galadriel cutting through orcs like they're butter, leading an army of female Numenorians. And I was so close to being 100% right on that one. I was only 60% right because the Numenorian army had women in it, of course, who disappeared halfway through the battle. But I was this close, and I was joking. I was like, I'm going to come up with the most ridiculous thing I can think of. And they did it. It was kind of crazy. So Nazgul, I think it's totally on the table. La damn rings. That's right, chat. But this is the best, tastiest thing of them all. Because this is pretty much admitting failure. This giant vanity project of Jeff Bezos, who wanted his own Game of Thrones, wanted a show that was a cultural phenomenon, and it became the most expensive show of all time, and it's one of the biggest failures of all time, losing 60% of its audience in successive years. I don't know how much. It's kind of like the Supergirl box office. How many times can you drop 60% till you're at 0%? Don't know, but we're going to find out. The Rings of Power Season 3's 5-year time jump. Only 5 years, by the way. The events of the Rings of Power take place over thousands of years, but they've truncated it into a few months, and then they're doing a 5-year time jump. And it will give the storytelling a jolt of adrenaline. Are you saying it was a little slow, boring, inaccurate, subversive, and stupid? Because I would agree with you. Says the showrunner. The Rings of Power Season 3 will be jumping ahead 5 years when the Lord of the Rings show returns to Prime Video, according to co-showrunner Patrick McKay. This is actually an advantage for you and for them, and it gives the show a jolt of adrenaline, insinuating that it didn't have one. Speaking at San Diego Comic-Con in 2026, McKay said, I mean, it's pure advantage. We love the idea that even if you've never seen the first 2 seasons, Season 3 is a great place to jump in because the stories are starting in a brand new spot. In other words, you do not need to watch Season 1 and 2. A showrunner saying that about his own show, any show, but the most expensive show ever made, is crazy. And I love it. You know, if you're a fan who loved the first 2 seasons, I like how he used the singular. It should just say, if you're the fan who loved the first 2 seasons, that's wonderful. And now you can see where everybody has gone in 5 years. Well, I didn't see a sign of the Harfoots, did you? Thank God they're gone. Hey, Picard Season 3 was good. I like Picard Season 3. I get a lot of heat for that, but you know what? I liked it. And we also have, he added at the roundtable attended by Games Retard. This character is now friends with this character, and they've moved over here. This is a perfect description of how they approach the show. I'm going to read this again. He added at the roundtable attended by Gaydar, this character, and I quote, this character is now friends with this character, and they've moved over here. And oh my gosh, the war seems to have gone for a while here. An entire realm got built in Rivendell. That is a perfect description of the show. An entire tower got built in Baradur or Barandur in Mordor. So it's important to just kind of give your storytelling a jolt of adrenaline. How about a jolt of storytelling? How about a jolt of lore accuracy? I could say something else. Hit the ground running from the first minute of Season 3 and hopefully never let up. I wish you'd let up. I am praying, although I don't think it's going to happen, that the Rings of Power follows the model of the Wheel of Time, which it has followed the pattern of the Wheel of Time up until now, which is they make a really subversive season. Then by the 3rd season, I guess they try to circle back to the book, but it's far too late, and then it gets canceled. So I'm hoping happens here. For all the people who want to give us power, which we had and now we don't have. Not really sure how that works, but whatever. If I had the kind of power to get rid of the Acolyte, fuck the Acolyte, this show would be gone. This show will be gone. And I'm talking about the good of society, right? Because a She-Hulk Season 2, an Acolyte Season 2, Accelerism, I'm all for it. I mean, why not? I'm gonna see if I can put a pool on my roof. Let's try it. First thing I bought with YouTube money was back at San Francisco. We had a shitty fence forever. We had this fucking terrible fence. So, and we had a backyard that was accessible by an access road. So we had the Captain Marvel Memorial Gate in the back. That's what we named it, and we christened it. And I sold it with that little Matchbox house. Oh God. And then there's the Jamie Campbell Bower out there taking pictures with a skirt on. I think Lady Greymaster has. Yeah. Oh, she tweets a lot, so I'm gonna have to go through this. Oh, she wants a T-shirt for watching so much FNT. I think we can make that happen, Lady Greymaster. I think you've earned a T-shirt. Okay, where is it? Jamie Campbell Bower in a skirt. My God, Lady Grandmaster, I know you have a job. Are you ever working at your job? Okay, Jamie Campbell Bower. Any pictures? And now I can't find them. So hopefully, there it is. There it is. Here we go. Because all you all want to see a man in a skirt. Apparently he's married, but to what, I don't know. Celeborn. Well, we all know who wears the metal plated pants in the family. So it's going to be Celeborn who's going to be pregnant with Celebrian. I was thinking the same thing. Man, it's like a scene out of Zoolander. Jamie Campbell Bower is so hot right now. I love Zoolander for so many reasons. Since obviously my wife was a hairdresser, that cabal of fashion designers who were in the shadows, she could name them all. I'm like, who? That's Karl Lagerfelder and fucking whatever, you know. I don't know why that's the one name I remembered, to be honest with you. Not even Shad would peg that. I don't know about that. Those Mormons get a little crazy. After he stole a bunch of Legos. It's impressive that I don't know if we'll ever get the final numbers on the Rings of Power, but they moved from New Zealand, built an entire studio, which Amazon can use for different things, but right now it's exclusively being used for the Rings of Power, to the UK. So that added to the cost, because the person I talked to for my video a couple of years ago, you know, about all the bullshit that went on behind the scenes and what happened to the show, because it really did come from a good place. Like Amazon, when they first got it, it was a couple of fans who really wanted to do it right, and who negotiated. Like Jennifer Salke and JD Payne and Patrick McKay had nothing to do with the negotiations with the Tolkien estate. And it came from a good place, but the person I talked to said, yeah, it wasn't a billion up front, but then they said, it's probably a billion now. And that was when we talked. So the billion wasn't all up front. It was in costs, and it was in costs that ran into season 2, basically. But it wouldn't have been a billion if they had, they bailed on New Zealand over tax cuts, and which, who cares? Sorry, South Australia or North Australia, whatever you are. Sorry, not New Zealand, but your government is, I'm not going to feel sorry for your government, but don't feel sorry for mine either. My government sucks too. So, they overspent. So I was told, like, there is just no way on God's good green earth that this show is even close to anything that you would consider profitable or breaking even. This is a giant money pit that has cost Amazon nothing but money. The only way you can justify, it's something Amazon can afford, right? So there's the 5 seasons that they're contractually obligated to, but it's been reported that there's a $20 million kill fee. Well, Jeff Bezos has $20 million in his prison wallet. Like, that's nothing to him. I think it's ego. I think it's pure ego. And I think they finish. I think they do 5 seasons. That's going to take 10 effing years. And I will be here all 5 seasons. I am committed to this one. I can't say I'm committed to every season of every show. Like House of the Dragon, it's getting pretty tough. Strange New Worlds, I'll talk about it on live streams. Not going to do video reviews of it. Starfleet Academy, yep, I'm going to do it. But this show I'm sticking with all the way till the bitter end. So you at least got me until whenever it ends. I do it for Tolkien. That's who I do it for. I am a Tolkien fanboy. Proud of it. One of the most memorable moments in life was Shad and I visited the professor's grave in Oxford. In a cemetery. I'm sorry, don't mean to laugh. I'm very sad he's gone. It was great to just be close to, him in that way. But we go to the cemetery and it's like, winner, best cemetery, 2002 and 2003. And they're like, you want to be proud of it, I guess. You want to be the best cemetery. Oxford's, it's filled with a bunch of, dumb college kids, but, and I don't mean that as a jest, but it's a beautiful town. Beautiful town. We ate in a pub that was like 1,000 years old, maybe more, probably more. What, Cimmerian, what's the Rabbit Room? Is it in Oxford? Yeah, I don't know. We went to some old pub that was over 1,000 years old. That was rad. And then we went to a bookstore where the proprietor was this sweet British old man who was just fun to talk to and just like the nicest guy in the world. And they had, us loud, obnoxious Americans in there. And then Shad and I are pulling out books that are 120 years old. And they're like 70 pounds. So Shad got a book, and I got one of medieval architecture. Mine was from God, I can't even remember. It's over 125 years old. And you just don't see. It's basically the Shire. Yeah, it's great. It's great. And we're going back. We're going back next year. I'll let you guys know as soon as the Vegas meetup is done. I'll let you guys know what the 411 is on the UK trip. It's going to be unbelievable. Unbelievable this trip is going to be. All right, so we have Rings of Power admitting failure. Simon Pegg is voicing the Balrog. How come we haven't got guys? No memes on this? No, like Balrog, going after Gandalf and like spitting out something from Shaun of the Dead or like something? A little disappointed in you. A little bit. I think everybody's been distracted with the Odyssey. It's like there's other things going on. Other things. Odyssey is at it was yesterday. So it's probably at 700 million today. It's like 639 million. So it's going to be it's arguably it's profitable now, or it'll be profitable by the weekend. But I would say arguably it's profitable now. Anywhere between 650 and 750. Oh, and tonight, what is it? Okay, Chris is just getting in the theater probably right now. I got to keep track. Chris has promised to text me. Ooh, what's this? Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah, there's been tornadoes up in Wisconsin. Glad we took off. Sorry, somebody sent me some video of kind of close to our house up there. Our house is fine though. Our house is fine. So I got to keep track of Chris. Chris Gore told me he was going to text me the Spooderman the minute he finds out who Sadie Sink is playing. Yeah, Appleton got rocked, and we have family in Appleton. They're okay, though. They're doing good. But that one video of the tornado that went over the fucking highway, people were messed up. We had our floodings done. It hasn't rained here for like 5, but before I came back home, the flooding was insane, and you could see the signs of it around here. But we're in a good part. We're in a good part. So, yeah, Spider-Man Brand New Day. I saw some projections online that are like, quite frankly, hard to believe. Okay, I'm just gonna and I could be wrong. Been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But when I see it's projected to make $800 million in its first week, I'm like, what? It doesn't even have IMAX screens. 800. I mean, okay. Maybe if it releases in every country, I'm trying to think of I don't believe this, but I'm trying to think of how this is even possible. Maximum capacity at most every theater, and they release simultaneously in every country. China, that I guess it would be possible. Now, if it hits 500-600 million, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. Without IMAX screens, because those belong to the Odyssey for 2 weeks. But 800 million, it's like, come on. But I saw it from more than one place. But I'm like, woo, all right. Calm down now. I just told my son that, you know what? I'm a little bit excited about it. Call me a sweet summer child. I don't care. I'm a little bit excited about this movie. I really want it to be good. I liked 2/3 of No Way Home. I don't like Far From Home. Homecoming, not a very good Spider-Man movie, but I can watch it. Michael Keaton is great as the Vulture, like unquestionably great. And I really love that how they used the Battle of New York to integrate, like have the aftermath, just like they did in Daredevil, and they completely forgot about that shit. But as far as it being like a Spider-Man adaptation, it's not very good. It's Spider-Boy, the sidekick to Iron Man. So it took him a lot of movies to get him to be in Spider-Man. So this is the one where he's Spider-Man. So we'll see. But it's directed by the guy who did Shang-Chi. So I think the director, I'm forgetting his name now, did Watts or Watt. I think he did a good job taking a ridiculous cameo fest and giving it a lot of heart in No Way Home. Oh, so why do I want Chris Gore to text me with who Sadie Sink is? I'll tell you when we find out. Okay, so don't let me forget that, chat. Don't let me forget. When you're done watching this, Little Platoon just released a part 1 of 3 or 4 breaking down the Odyssey as an adaptation of Homer. And yes, we had Emily Wilson giving a scathing review of the text. In some she says the women are underwritten. So it's this really interesting thing where now her first criticism was you don't see Odysseus being a warrior. And I agree with her there. So you have a regretful warrior that you never saw be a warrior. You see this practice in PTSD, this practice in subversion and undercutting the hero. War bad, heroes bad. They have taken the female characters and anything that happened to those female characters or their presentation in the story. This is all my video. I'm kind of repeating shit from my video. They have either reduced it or negated it or omitted it, which might mean the same thing. Sorry. So like the sirens, they don't show them. They don't show them dying because Odysseus survived the siren song. And if a human survives the siren song, they die. Calypso is Emily, she's a therapist. She's a therapist. Instead of being this bold, beautiful woman who's basically kept the Odysseus there against his will and rapes him. Emily Wilson actually complained about that from a feminist perspective, which is hilarious, which is women could rape too. Women could be Nazis too. It's so fucking ridiculous. Everything about this is so fucking ridiculous. I love it. And with Cersei is also supposed to be beautiful, but they made no offense to the actress, she's an older woman, okay? She's not smoking hot beautiful, which is what Cersei's supposed to be. She's also supposed to be in a castle, and she's also supposed to be. So they made her a victim. They made her like a trauma survivor or some shit. So that is definitely a feminist angle, right? What's funny is it's kind of a feminist calling out Christopher Nolan for doing his safe version of feminism and not going far enough, which is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But Platoon really gets into Zeus's law, and he breaks down like where the message of Homer is just destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. I thought it was good. It's only part one. It's only part one, so give it a watch, and then watch Platoon's Supergirl review. It's so good. I was listening to that on my drive home. Okay, and then we have what's the oh my god, Alan Richson. There's a Reacher trailer. I can't believe they're doing a Neely show. Who in the fuck is going to watch a Neely show? I'm not. Ryan, I mean, if we have time, we're watching a lot of stuff, so it's kind of up to Ryan's schedule if he's down, but we can do the Reacher reviews if he wants. If he wants, it's up to Ryan. I don't want to do it unless Ryan's there. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Well, the other thing he talks about is I don't know how much he gets into it in this one. But somebody asked on Twitter, like, who's the worst performance? And I'm like, well, outside of, and you can't really count because they're not in it much. Like Travis Scott and Elliot Page. It's Anne Hathaway. Oh. All right, so here we go. Anthony Mackie clarifies that Chris Evans is returning as Steve Rogers, not Captain America, and hints that Steve will become Nomad in Avengers. But they already they're like circling back to storylines they've already kind of done. They've already done this. Yes, Robert Pattinson gave the best performance with some pretty bad dialogue. I mean, the dialogue is just not good. It's just not good. And some may argue that this is like a Nolan problem. But the dialogue in this one is, but Pattinson's great in kind of everything. He was good in Mickey 17, which sucked. But the intersectionalism is there. It's there. And to say it isn't, I mean, if people aren't covering, God, I hate, I just got to tell it like it is. If people haven't been covering entertainment consistently for the last, 8 years, they're getting a lot better at being subtle. They just are. And Nolan is the master at filmmaking, the master at marketing, the master at, he's the king of Hollywood. Like I said, the last 4 videos I spent like I opened each video giving the man his proper respect. Despite, again, as somebody who doesn't hate him, but also doesn't love him. But they're getting we talked about this 2 years ago. It's like they're not getting rid of DEI. They're not. They're renaming it. They're reforming it. They're rebranding it. And they're going to get better at it. And Now, is it overt all the time? Just the existence of a white straight male protagonist should be enough for everybody. It's like, well, how's he framed? How's he presented? What's his through line? Huh? Because it's not just the existence of a character, it's the character, the characterization, and the story. And in that story, what's his motivation? Well, his motivation is to not go home because he feels bad about war. Is that why you want? So you hear Homer's Odyssey is being adapted. It's like, fuck yeah. I'm going to see Cyclops. I'm going to see Scylla. I'm going to see sirens. I'm going to hear the sirens, but survive them. I'm going to see the gods and monsters. And, oh, I see sad man who doesn't really want to go home talking to his therapist, eating lotus flower. And Anne Hathaway crying. So, okay, we're going to Marvel now. Because they just never leer.
Steve Rogers is returning, not Captain America.
No, Steve Rogers in the comic book. There is a comic book. You say you're a nerd, read the comic book.
Oh,
don't be a nerd by trade, be a nerd by fact, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
In the comic book, Steve Rogers becomes Nomad.
Maybe that will happen.
I don't know.
Maybe it won't. We will see.
I don't even watch movies.
Steve Rogers is returning.
You don't read comic books. And you don't read comic books. And we're not talking about the fucking bullshit Hydra Cap. Honestly, in the movies, this would make more sense. If you had a villain Tony Stark with Doctor Doom, it would make more sense to do Hydra Cap from the multiverse. I hated it in Marvel Comics because the 616 Captain America was a sleeper agent for the whole fucking time. The whole time. So that means every Captain America issue you read, that was an evil sleeper agent. It was such a slap in the face to the fans that they had to undo it immediately. And I believe that was under Axel Alonso's reign. He was fired. No, the 616 got screwed up after Secret War. Like, it was done. It was done. But don't invoke Nomad, Anthony Mackie, and don't start pointing fingers about, you say you read the comics. Well, there's a character. Okay, yeah. Who wrote him? Who's the person who came up with it? What issue was it? Underrated legend came up with it. Met him a couple of times in San Francisco. Let's see. You guys are going to look it up, though. Let's see if anybody in the chat gets it. Nomad goes way the fuck back. I mean, not so much for me because I'm old, but for you, yes. But Anthony Mackie, like I really like. Yes, Steve Englehart, very good. Johnny Skinwalker, very good. Did some good Batman work, too. That's Steve Englehart. All right, so Anthony Mackie, he's like, it's funny because like sometimes he says some like really funny shit and sometimes he says some stupid shit. Like us all, we're all human. I've always kind of liked the guy. I think he was a great Falcon. So he took kind of this, like what the rest of the MCU did, and take this like really B tier kind of boring hero and flushed him out and made him great. He was a great Falcon, and I'm pissed that we got robbed of Falcon. And what's worse is what Eric July correctly stated is they give the black man the white man's hand-me-downs for validity, which states that only the white man has validity. It's kind of a crazy concept, but that's what it is at its core. Here, marginalized person. All the bad white people took things from you. I'm a good white person. Here's some hand-me-downs that we stole from another white person. Now you're valid. If you think about that for a nanosecond, you're what? Oh, and by the way, we're taking away a historic black character, the second black character created in Marvel Comics, and we're going to give you another mantle that you clearly didn't deserve. Yeah, so when you find people bitching, you mentioned culture wars, and I'm not mentioning, not you, fine person in the chat. You're absolutely right. That's what the culture wars are. It is, oh, we're noticing this, and I'm calling out, and they are mad because we noticed it and called it out. How dare you call it out? Don't you understand that we can call you racist now, and we have you in a corner because we can call you racist for criticizing our clearly and not so subtle racist decision? Yep, we can. Yes, we can. Because if you were a true ally, you would create a new character, put as much resources behind that new character as you would put behind Spider-Man or Captain America. Top tier artist, top tier writer, give it a good 3 or 4 years to build up, and then you would have new character, new IP. But that would take time. That would take investment. That is risky. You might lose money. Well, we're not that much of an ally. Isn't it easier just to take something from somebody else and give it to this guy? Yes. All right. So Chris Evans, could you imagine? And they lost money anyway. And they lost money. The chat is so smart and beautiful and talented. They lost money anyway. So, wouldn't it be crazy if he doesn't become Captain America in Secret Wars either? Base chat. Do you guys think that's a possibility? That he's just Captain Shirt Pants for the next, or they put him in like a nomad costume, like he gets a costume, but he never gets to shield. Or do you think they kill Anthony Mackie and he becomes Cap for a little while? I know what happens to him at the end of Secret Wars. I can't say though. It's terrible. I can tell you my opinion of it. It's terrible. Now he's just going to have Mjolnir and be Captain Shirt Pants. Captain Banana Republic. Now, if we had a Black Hydra Cap, okay. Like a black Nazi. I think that would be DEI squared at that point if we had a black Nazi. I mean, in a way, they exist. Not in a way. They exist. They exist. Oh, yeah. Captain Germany. Captain Germany. It's so simple and funny. They absolutely exist. Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, they do. Oh, yes, they do. There's a whole hell of a lot of them. The Black Nazi is real. Thank you. I'm here all week. So, yeah, Comic-Con Hall H. We talked about it on Versus. There was a big kerfuffle at Hall H, and a bunch of people were supposed to get they got wristbands that said they were guaranteed to get in. Then they didn't get in because Comic-Con fucked it up. They were trying to insinuate that there was some counterfeit badges going on, but they said they found no proof. Chris and I pretty much agree on what happened, and I think others do too. And as a matter of fact, I think even somebody who doesn't even like us, New Rock Stars, was saying it a day before even I did, was that the comps, the friends and family, took up all the seats of the people who waited in line. So the friends of Robert Downey Jr. or the friends of Kevin Feige or the friends of the studio, and then, some bros of some of the people who were the ushers inside. That's how I got in a bunch. I knew a guy and he snuck me in. So, and those numbers add up. So that took all the seat space from the people who waited 8 hours to get a badge and then waited 15 hours to not get into Hall H. The lesson here, they should have been let in. We're going to say that they did the right thing. They played by the rules and they got fucked over. And the lesson here is don't wait in line for anything. Don't. There is nothing on this earth worth waiting 15 hours, not with today's technology. We used to do it all the time back in the day, but not now. Unless, like, Jesus is coming back. Like, I can't think of anybody you wait in a line for 15 hours? As somebody who has lost a significant amount of time in my life to stupid shit, 15 hours, that is a half a day of your life. $15 hours. Yes, that's what one of the women said. And it's like, to watch a commercial and then think about, like, the Marvel Hall H presentation wasn't worth waiting 15 minutes for. They showed another trailer, which I saw a copy of, which was superior to the one they showed all of us. And that's the trailer that I talked about months ago that I thought was going to come out with Avatar, because my buddy worked on that one. And yeah, it's not worth it. If Tolkien came back to life, yes, I'd wait 48 hours for him. But that's like, you're talking about the rarest of exceptions. And thank you, Steph, for looking all this stuff up. Have not heard from Chris Gore. So we find out tonight who Sadie Sink is playing. So I heard from somebody who works for Marvel, or worked for Marvel, doesn't work there anymore. This is the same and like, I am not a scooper, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. And That one thing, when I was told about that Doctor Doom specific trailer, I was totally wrong about that because I was told it was going to be out during Avatar and it wasn't. So yeah, I'm not one of these people who's like going to throw up a Patreon and drop bullshit scoops. And most scoopers are full of shit. I don't think I'm breaking any news, but this is the guy who told me Punisher and Hulk were in Spider-Man. Said that Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey. And I'm like, wow, that's weird. Why would you introduce an X-Men character in a Sony movie? Now you can say, well, they introduced the Skrulls in a Spider-Man movie. But this is the X-Men. Oh, Charlie from Emergency Awesome. Well, Charlie just grinds it out. So, and Gore knows the same person I know who, so there's some people who don't think it makes sense. And to them, I've always said, I agree with you. It doesn't make sense to introduce Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie, but we are talking about Marvel. So we find out today. There's some. Oh, they fucking blew. The Skrulls could have been their next phase. It should have been their next phase. Not the fucking multiverse. It should have been the Skrulls. How much fun could you have had with the Skrulls? She's playing Poison Ivy. And I still don't like, okay, say Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. I don't know how she could be the villain. There's got to be another villain. Secret Invasion is a storyline, but it was much better in the comics, but it's still like all the big events. It kind of had a unsatisfying end, but it's a great concept that could have been your next phase. You don't know which superhero, like sleeper agents everywhere. It could have been fun. But they blew it. Oh shit. I just texted. Sorry. I just hit the button. Poorly executed, kind of like this stream. Spider-Man, yes. I mean, somebody asked, has Spider-Man and Jean Grey ever interacted in the comics? Yes, they have. But it's not like they've done it a lot. I don't know about recently because I haven't picked up a new Marvel comic in 4 years, but yeah, you can't say they have a great relationship. But it's safe to assume that pretty much everybody in Marvel Comics has interacted with another character at some point, especially with all the team up books from the Bronze Age. The end of this Bronze Age. Firestar would have been, yeah, I would prefer Firestar. But it's clear that she has, I mean, you see her in the trailer. She's the hooded figure. So she has different kind of powers than Firestar. But that would have been cool. That would have been cool. I wonder if they would do the Acts of Vengeance storyline now and cross some villains around. Whatever the MCU would do, they would go, look, we're going to the comics, and then just fucking bastardize the adaptation. She's an amazing friend. She also turned Iceman gay. The Skrulls were clearly anti-Semitic. I think they're pretty well, some of them were pretty anti-human. Most of them pretty. They have nice scrolls in the MCU. Where's Gaia? That's what I want to know. Where the hell is Gaia? The most powerful non-god superhero out there. Snowflake and Safe Space would be 100% comic accurate. It's a shame that we never got that. Caleb, I've got some excitement. I'm looking forward to it. I'm genuinely looking forward to this movie. Can't say that often with a Marvel movie these days. But I was really looking forward to the Odyssey until I saw some of the casting and heard some of the things. And yeah, I got my tickets too. I got them for 2 days. I've got the fan preview night. Then I'm taking the rest of the family on Thursday. Which Ghost Rider is Ryan Gosling portraying? I'm assuming Johnny Blaze. It is cool. I didn't notice it the first time. When they introduced him, they played the and it's a deep cut. A band called Suicide. I don't know if any of you have heard of them. They do a song called Ghost Rider, which is about the superhero Ghost Rider. On top of that, Henry Rollins and Rollins Band covered this song, did a better version, in my opinion, and it's on the Crow soundtrack. So there's a superhero song on the Crow. So there's a superhero movie where its soundtrack has a song about another superhero. But yeah, they played the Suicide Ghost Rider song as they announced Ryan Gosling. Crow soundtrack is top tier. It's up there. It's in the top 5. Like heavy metal, Crow. Not a great movie, but an awesome soundtrack. Spawn, where they mashed up electronic bands with metal bands. But every song on the Crow soundtrack is a banger. It's got a great Cure song. Judgment Night, that's got a good one too. Good call, chat. Let's get... All right. All right. We're going to get to the square up portion. I was just, answering some DMs on your time. I apologize. Strange Days. That's a good one too. I like that movie. Jean Grey as the villain, spoiled at the red carpet. Was it spoiled at the red carpet? Because it feels like there hasn't been an official announcement yet. I'm just wondering what they're... Okay. We're going to find out in like really soon. Like within the next hour, I'm guessing. but let's just roll with it. It just doesn't make sense. So, if you're introducing her, she will. I could definitely see like the whole. We're going to announce Jean Grey as the first X-Men, and let's be fucking real. Jean Grey is the most boring original member of the X-Men. That's why they killed her. That's why they came up with Phoenix. That's why they did the Dark Phoenix, because she's the most boring fucking member of the team. Now, she gets better as time goes on, but yeah. So, of course, they would announce, I'm surprised they didn't announce Storm first. I think that's a legit one to announce. They're not going to do Wolverine for a while, and I'm okay with that. Cyclops casting, pretty important. But yeah, I once you see the X-Men casting, you're going to see what direction Marvel's going in. So, we'll see. We will see. Kitty Pryde. Oh boy. One of my I pat myself in the back in the video when I got tired of saying all the Greek names. I just started saying superhero names of the people. We had Spider-Man met the Punisher, who's married to Nakia from Black Panther. And then we had Batman sending out people to kill Spider-Man. And then Jason Bourne saved Spider-Man, killed Batman, and avenged Kitty Pryde. That's the Odyssey. There we go. I could have just moved the cup, I guess, instead of looking around it like that. All right. Sorry. Dead air Gare. Little dead air Gare there. I'll make up for it. Big PD 81 for $5 has sent one Nerdrotic membership. Thank you very much. Blood Viper has done the same. One Nerdrotic membership. Thank you very much. Jesus Davila has gifted one Nerdrotic membership. Thank you very much. Jackson Cagle says, Muse is a fickle girl, but a good band. A good band. And, okay, you want to say something controversial besides, I don't like the Odyssey? Muse is better than Radiohead. There you go. The Planet Willow for $5. Gary, I just linked you and the panel on a Carnival Ghostbusters parade that did Winston dirty. Ha 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 ha. It's on Twitter. That must have been on the FNT thing. Don't be doing Winston dirty. Well, the action figures did. Winston was the one action figure that had the mouth that came down. I got it. Wait, where is he? He's right. You might be able to see him. Right there. That's the Winston action figure where they did him dirty. I'm pointing right to his balls. Please watch If Lord of the Rings was written by like Nolan's Odyssey. Oh God, remind me to watch that later. It's very AI, but the concept is funny as hell. The execution, but the concept was funny as hell. So I'll look that up later. Remind me, chat. Gary, what is your favorite board game? What is my favorite board game? Oh, my God. I'm going to... The last one I played, like, with any regularity was 30 years ago, Catan. But before that, it was when I was a kid. It was Mousetrap was awesome when I was a little kid. It was. But no, we played a lot of Monopoly. And yes, when I was very little, our family would have game night. Dad was very serious about it. So, like, no TV. We sat around. We played Monopoly. And playing a Monopoly against a CPA, not fun. Not fun. And it's not like my dad ever let anybody win. Hail from Finland. Just got home from Metal Festival. Hell yeah, Marcus. Jelly. Here in my hometown of Vasa. Just wondering, do you know any Finnish metal bands? I wouldn't know if they're Finnish or not. I'm sure if you named a few, I would go, yeah. I know the Finns are into their metal, and I know the garage band I was in, our guitar player was Finnish. His name was Posse. And he said about, in our entire friendship, I think he said 20 words. It's a really good friend to have, to be honest with you. I miss Passy. Wonder what he's doing. Passy was known for saying, beer good. But when we were in this garage band, the thing is, like, they'd play for free booze, and I didn't drink, so I got like a Diet Coke out of it. But I got to play. So that was fun. 343, my pregnant girlfriend was... Whoa. Okay, that's... 343, we were talking about 343. My pregnant girlfriend was murdered in 2010. I'm pro-life. That's... Jesus Christ. Thank you, really big. I'm sorry that happened. That's heavy. As an adopted kid, I'm pro-life. I'm also and not from a religious standpoint. But if you are, that's cool. My logic on this is, do we know beyond the shadow of a doubt when life starts? No, we don't. But that's just my perspective. The Patrick Stewart Christmas Carol one-man show is semi-recreated in his audiobook of the story. His performance is phenomenal. I listen every year. Yep, I have the CD of it, and I do believe it is available on Audible. I highly recommend it. And I watched that his one-man performance. He did it at, God, was it UCLA? Somewhere up in LA. We drove up. I saw it like 5 times. Nightmare on Elm Street reference in the Ebenezer teaser when he fell through the mattress. Yeah, Thomas. Thank you for the 1999. I watched Strange New Worlds first episode. Valis Marinaris sauce. And there's a Doctor Who reference. There is a full-blown Doctor Who reference in it. And I'm like, man, that would have been cool if real Star Trek had given real Doctor Who a reference in its show. But it came from Lodka's girlfriend, who was in Scrooged. She was great in Scrooged. She's unwatchable, and unlistenable in this show. Her horrible accent, like I don't know how she's got a job. And my assessment of Strange New Worlds has not changed. It's abysmal. But I can also admit that this is Akiva Goldsman and Kurtzman's crew really trying for the first time to make Star Trek. Like, this is their, like, okay, we're gonna tighten our belts and batten down the hatches. I don't know if those even go together. And we're gonna like try to really make Star Trek. And they just can't because they suck. The dialogue is trash. It makes Christopher Nolan's look Homeric. Would that be the proper term? And it's bad. It's a bad show. Is it as bad as Starfleet Academy? No. Is it as bad as Discovery? It's close. Some episodes have been worse. I can't wait for the puppet episode this season. Johnny Depp is back. Hallelujah. Yeah, the Ebenezer trailer was good. And I'm also there, there's a lot of love for Johnny coming back. He got screwed over, and I know there's a small sect out there who hates him and thinks he's an abuser. And fact of the matter is, Amber Heard was the abuser. And Johnny's not an angel. Nobody said the man was an angel, substance abuse problems and all that, but did not deserve to lose his career. It tanked what was left of the Wizarding World franchise, the Fantastic Beasts franchise. That had a lot to do with that third movie's failure, whether people want to admit it or not. And screwed him out of the iconic role of Jack Sparrow. And I promise you, Disney's begging him to come back. And he's like, fuck you. If I was him, I would want nothing less than double what Robert Downey Jr. got for Iron Man. But I'd also make, because since I'm just writing this for Johnny, because he's listening all the time, I'd also make Disney make a public apology to him. Make it hurt. And it could be a legal one. You don't have to mention Amber Heard. You can keep it vague, but you could just, I want to see the new Disney CEO like read a thing like, we're sorry we did this to you. Or no, better yet, I would make Bob Iger come back and read the apology, since we're just fantasizing right now. That'd be fucking wonderful. Gary, pronounce robots like how Marlon Brando pronounces Krypton. Robots. Planet Krypton. Spitterman. I would love to travel to Australia and deliver myself to the emus before I watch Rings of Prime or any of the upcoming violations of Tolkien's work. Fuck them, says Philip Johnson for $4.99. In Platoon's video today on the Odyssey, if you're going to watch anything, watch that first 5 minutes. It is. When We Were Soldiers was based on a book by Lieutenant General Hall Moore's Battle of Ladrang. His sequel, We Are Soldiers Still, is his Odyssey. None had a clean break from the horrors. He carried his lifelong burden till he died at 94 years old. Andy Miller, UK, thank you for the 20 British pounds. Yeah, there's a lot of versions of the Odyssey out there. I mean, a very loose one is and it's just the concept of a journey, right? But Apocalypse Now. And then there's Oh Brother Where Art Thou, which is way more. It's got sirens, it's got the Cyclops. And I love that movie. I freaking love that movie. And then there's Ulysses. And then, of course, there's the 97 one, which I'm sure is getting lots of love right now. Feige looks like a Make-A-Wish kid that never died, says Sean Skywalker for $2. Who's it for $10? The rest of Amazon is turning around. Why do we need to deal with nonsense? Yeah, since Salky is gone, they have made improvements. But I didn't like Fallout. Some of you might, but I didn't like it. But there are like some shows that I watch. Hell, Amazon has the best fucking show on TV, Clarkson's Farm. The thing is, though, the person who got Clarkson's Farm is the guy who initially got the Lord of the Rings rights. So Roy Price, hail Roy Price, of course. Roy, if you're out there, buddy, you need to write a book. He got fucked over, man. Absolutely fucked over by Me Too. Fuck Me Too. No, okay, that sounded bad. Fuck hashtag Me Too. Such a bullshit movement. Zanzoltan for 100 Arses says, so is Sauron going to have some fun with Galadriel or Gailadriel and then leave to look for some Marlboro menthols? He ain't black. Not a lot of white people smoking them menthols. I mean, my dad did. My dad smoked Salem's, but not a lot of white folks smoke the menthols. Menthols taste like shit. I don't know why anybody smokes them. Lego Fifth Doctor for $4.99 British pounds. Gary, when you next get to the UK, check out the console room. Where is it? We're going to be there next year. We just don't know which month. It's either going to be April or September. We're shooting for April. Quickly, Asmongold, save us from crappy TV show. Who's Asmongold? Is that Asmongold's brother who plays golf? Colonel Arnold? I don't know who this Asmongold is who you speak of. But I am not aware of the Twitch lore, for which there is a lot. I like Asmongold. I do. He's reacted to a couple of my videos, so thanks. Appreciate that. But I do not spend any time on Twitch. I find that place annoying and weird and fake. It's very fake. Now, I'm not saying Asmongold has quite the following. He has proven that over here on YouTube. But I think most of that shit is fake. Hail the Fellowship. I am compelled to share something good inspired by Tolkien. Listen to Blind Guardians. Hell yeah, Blind Guardians album, Nightfall in Middle Earth. It is better sub-creation to the Legendarium than Amazon's filth. Could not agree more. Tracer Frenzy for $20. And you could find it right here on YouTube. Blind Guardian. Fucking rules. Super Opinion Man for $5. What is everybody's favorite mythical creature? Mine is the educated black woman. Mine is the funny female comedian. Super Mastermind for $5. These modern Hollywood shows suck. Do they know they have to compete with free porn online? I mean, yes. I think they're aware of that. And unfortunately, those short independent films have better acting, better storytelling. Better dialogue. Ma'am, I'm here to clean your pipes. K. Festus Hagen for $5. Howdy, Gary. You excited to see Godzilla minus Bambi? Yes. I can't believe those filthy limeys hadn't seen Godzilla versus Bambi or Bambi versus Godzilla. I should remove everybody's pop culture nerd cred for that. The audience will never know we failed today. Sean Levy, director of the news Ghost Rider movie. How many times will Sean fail during production? I don't know. Watch those behind the scenes for Stranger Things. Woo. Proof that, you know what? Sometimes people just get lucky and they're not as talented as you think they are, or in a certain field. I think the Duffer Brothers made a masterpiece with Stranger Things season 1. And you leave it there. Hardware Wars. They probably don't even know what Hardware Wars is either. Lady Wendelin. They probably have no idea. God, I haven't seen it. So we saw that in school too. They would show that in school. And it has a Fluke Starbuck, Chuchilla, and ham salad. And Augie Bendoggy. Oh, those are the days. These modern, I read that. Howdy, Gary. I read that. Only thing eternal about Angelina is her implants. Yeah, imagine when they're going to start digging us up in 1,000 years, and it's like so much of them is preserved. Were they machines or man? Emily Wilson criticizing Nolan is essentially Odysseus is a patriarchal white colonizer leftism versus Odysseus is a modern California shitlib leftism. Exactly. Now, as far as like this film, I mean, the broad term of woke is used, but it's more, I would say it's more, drinkers term the message. There's more intersectionalism in it and modern feminism, but you have to look at it from the aspect of that it is risk averse feminism. So we're still going to practice feminism, but we can't show violence against women. We can't show women being mentored by men or anything. We can't show women in a bad light. So you remove all complexity, which is still going to piss off the feminists, by the way. It's still going to piss them off because you're robbing them of their agency. But you're being super safe because you have Emily Wilson, who is an academic feminist. So she thinks about it a lot. And then you have the fake feminists in Hollywood who don't understand it, who just like, don't do anything to women. And that's why you have Calypso being woman on beach and a good listener. No connection to the gods whatsoever. Cersei, no connection to the gods whatsoever. She's portrayed as a victim. That was the one scene I liked right up until she has her feminist speech at the end. But that was the scene. I like that horror scene. I thought that was really good. And well, the diminishment of all the other female characters, the diminishment of Athena as a goddess guiding so much. Aphrodite, nowhere to be found. And then the war for Troy being over trade routes. So these are undeniable changes that were made by Christopher Nolan. And these changes were made because of the message. And then Nolan said himself that they did not do the ending where they execute the whores because it was too misogynist. Where Emily Wilson would have wanted that portrayed, but she would have added the caveat of having the women being raped before they're executed to show how evil men are. See, you see? So it is two sides of the same coin. One's a little more scratched up than the other. And Nolan is smarter than the average bear. So he's subtle enough with this where people I don't want to get, however you feel about the movie, you feel about the movie. But you either don't pick up on it or don't care. If you're one of the people who's like, yeah, I see it, but like the overall story is good enough for me, fair enough. Fair enough. We all do that with some stories where it's like, oh, God, you just kind of roll your eyes at one scene, but then it's like the rest of it's fine. But there was more than one for me. And I fully admit it. It's like that shit just rips me. When I recognize it, it's just like, I'm out. I was watching the show Legion by Noah Hawley, who did Alien Earth. And I thought it was a pretty fun show. Did it play with gender ambiguity with an original character? Yes. They had one character that was like a nebbish, nerdy dude, and then it turned into a karate fighting Native American who was in Prey. But it was about the X-Men Legion, who I never liked in the comics, but I liked in this show. And I thought the first two seasons were pretty fun. They did some interesting things with the X-Men. Season 3 starts, and there's a scene, and a woman just says, and I'm paraphrasing, I've survived just fine 25 years without a penis. And I'm like, oh, fuck this show, and I'm out. I was just done at that line. I'm like, goodbye. And that's what all this shit was just starting. But that was that era where you can see they crossed the line. The line of demarcation had been crossed into full, like not just playing around with woke Hollywood, going into full woke Hollywood. And I think a lot of people were under the impression that woke Hollywood was dead. And it's not. I think a lot of people are over that shit, but it's not. But there are some studios that are going to change, and there's some studios that will never change. Disney is one of them. I see you, Gambit, in the Doomsday trailer. Cool. Gambit, like, it's fine. I can't say I'm like super passionate about Gambit. You know what? Wolverine Origins, fucking terrible movie. Good Gambit. Good Gambit. Kata is on. Did you run short of guests? Did you run short of guests? We did. Rogers going back to Peggy kills his moral character. Knowing she got married, had children, grandchildren, he prevents those lives and their contributions for selfish gain. That is an evil act. Darius, yes. And then you add that to why Tony Stark, why the 5-year blip had to happen, and Tony Stark's involvement is he didn't want to prevent the daughter that he might have had anyway, which ended up costing him his life. And then you have Steve Rogers on the other hand going, I know Peggy Carter has a whole family, but fuck that. Oh, and I know that 9/11, the Vietnam War, Kennedy's assassination. I'm just going to sit all that out. Fucking terrible. John Papsergio for $4.99 says, according to the MCU time travel rules, Cap going to the past, he would just age into a different timeline since changing the past can't affect the future. Well, I mean, they do mention that. To be fair, he is in a timeline that is going to be pruned. That is going to be pruned. So the timeline that Peggy's in. The thing is, though, if Cap goes to that time, is it string theory, which was a predominant theory that a lot of people were going with, that Nolan kind of went with in Interstellar, that is now not the predominant theory. A lot of it turns out that string theory, as much as I love Michio Kaku, was pushed, and it was inauthentically pushed. It was pushed by a lot of people because of their egos, and they wanted to be prominent in physics and blah, 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 blah. And then a lot of people fought back, and yeah, it's a whole thing. If you're into that stuff, there was a whole fight over string theory, to the point where like they were forcing people out of their position. Scientists are catty bitches. Okay. They are fucking catty bitches. And if you come up against their theory, and it's like, it was barely a theory. No, it was a hypothesis, right? Chat. It was just a hypothesis, which is not a theory. And if you came up against it, man, they will go to fucking war with you. They want to end your career. They want to end your life. It is brutal. So the stuff that went down with string theory was nuts. Yeah, look at archaeology, which isn't even really a science. You're about as much of a scientist as an art history major is. Okay, you're just interpreting shit you dug up from the ground. You're not a geologist, which you kind of have to be, right? Wouldn't you think that? Wouldn't you have to be a geologist to be an archaeologist? Indiana Jones is the only real archaeologist. Flint Dibble's he ain't working for anybody right now. Flint Dibble's a YouTuber. Mugger fucker. Flint Dibble's a YouTuber because he ain't got no job. He got let go from the whatever university in Cardiff. He's a twat. And now he's probably going to stream about the fact that I brought him up. Professor Dave says he's legit. Yeah, that's another one. You can not agree with Graham Hancock and stuff, but they're just dicks about it. They're complete dicks about it. So Dedunking Dan has made a career out of going after Dibble and others. He lives for that shit. By the way, hail Dedunking Dan. We fucking love you, brother. Rogers going back. I read that one according to MCJ. Echo will free Doom from his trauma. God, I hope so, Snex. Does Cap show up at the very end after they all die and they are on a ship to Battle World when they meet? No, Cap's in the whole movie. Well, no. Steve Rogers is in the whole movie. Cap, they're trying to tell us, is Falcon. You know, the one that had his own movie that flopped like a motherfucker and lost hundreds of millions of dollars that they had to shoot twice. There's a whole... Okay, this is how dumb the people at Marvel were. You've heard this story before, but this is for the new folks. There is a scene in that they cut out where Red Hulk is up against Sam Wilson with no powers and punches his shield, and nothing happens to Sam Wilson because the people at Marvel thought, well, the vibranium will absorb all the energy. Not the case when you're dealing with Hulk. It'll still move the shield, right? And then the people within Marvel had to go, like, this is after it's shot and it's in the editing phase, and the people were like, this can't happen. This cannot happen. So they took it out. And then they reshot the whole movie, but not because of that scene, because they needed to change a lot of other stuff too. Gary, wait till you hit the super gay arc in One Piece. Yeah, Flash has warned me. Yellow Flash has warned me about it. See, One Piece is from the 2 seasons I've seen, there is a girl playing a boy in season 1, and it's clearly a girl playing a boy. But you're adapting an anime character that was kind of a weak ass bitch anyway. Plus, it's in an anime. It's not if people want to compare why I'll tell you exactly why I like One Piece and I don't like what they did with Sinan in Odyssey. It's very easy. One character significant in season 1, insignificant in season 2, but it's also in a fucking anime adaptation. And the overall through line is heroism and friendship. And there is a lot of mentoring, male mentoring. And it's just a fun story. It's an overall fun story with engaging characters, with some cringe stuff that I kind of go, but it doesn't ruin the show for me. So as I said in my review, I'm like, if Sinan was killed in the first 2 minutes and doesn't show up again, it probably wouldn't have bothered me. I would have probably laughed. If they'd have left it at that, I would go, okay, based. But they made Sinan important to Odysseus. Part of his motivation to go back was retribution for Sinan for his crimes against Sinan and Batman's. Every day, Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern doesn't look so bad. Yeah, that Lanterns trailer, that was a better trailer than the first one, for sure. But you know what? Another thing, I didn't bring it up either until I was looking at my action figure. I'm like, where's this fucking mask? Where's this domino-ish mask? Did they think that's stupid too? It's like, well, he can be in his frumpy green costume, but man, that mask is going too far. The mask is part of the costume. Yeah, it's Damon Lindelof, so I'm not holding out hope. Bring on Grace Randolph. She can wear a ginger wig and pretend to not know what the oranges are for. The circle is complete. Says Raz for 10 British pounds. Yeah. Life comes at you fast. BWD, Grace Randolph would be welcome on Friday Night Tights. Grace Randolph would never come on Friday Night Tights. She probably thinks we're all filthy, disgusting creatures. And in some ways, she's not wrong. But these are my friends, and I love them. But yes, I would talk to Grace. Certainly. There's probably we could bond on dunking on James Gunn. But there's no way she'd come on the show. And that's okay. Aren't Infinity Stones supposed to be powerless outside of their own dimension? Well, that's how they're portrayed in the TVA, in the MCU. But the lore on that varies like everything else. Can we get Emergency Awesome on the panel? I would get Charlie on the panel too. I would talk to Charlie. You know what Charlie inspired for our channel? Because I used to watch all the like rumor Marvel theory video channels back in 2015, 14, 15. I watched them all. And Charlie from Emergency Awesome inspired the word on our thumbnails. The one word description, because he would do the what WTF or OMG, and so I'm like, oh, but I decided to have it like fill a. He always had it like in some random spot though, and I'm like, no, you got to line this up right. So ours is always on the top right hand corner if you're facing the thumbnail, obviously. But it was Charlie that inspired that. Here's a donation for Jeremy's operation to surgically remove Nolan's hand from his butt. Principal photography for Avengers Goons Day has begun. Avengers Goons Day, the porn. Cucker Tarlson, thank you for the $5. Okay. Rebecca Romaine, Stamos. I still want to say Stamos. I wish it would have worked out for those kids. I was rooting for him. Miniature harpist. Thank you for the 50 Swedish krona. Is really tall. So did Mystique shrink before morphing, or did she morph into Yelena, with long legs? Maybe. We were watching a Q&A at Comic-Con, and Rebecca Romaine looks, I just saw her in Strange New Worlds. She looks great. She is a beautiful woman, and they uglied her up. And as much as I like seeing a basically naked woman with blue scales all over her, that's not what Mystique looks like. I like Mystique's costume, which is like this. It's not a bikini, but it's revealing. But with the little skull on her forehead. Go look at that Alex Ross version. That's a good version of it. And she's blue, but she doesn't have the little scaly things. But I mean, her makeup looks like fucking CW makeup. And she is a superior Mystique, by the way. Everybody loved that scene in X-Men when she slid under the door and flipped them off. Like, everybody laughed at that scene. Stay yellow, my fellow, says Daniel. Here's I read that one. I can't wait to see how they explain multiversal incursions being responsible for killing Doom's family and destroying all but 3 universes, but Reed Richards doesn't know anything about it until Doom tells him. That is crazy, Buster Nut Smash. You know, I honestly did not think about that until you brought it up. Reed Richards not knowing about incursions and the destruction of other universes is crazy. What do you want to bet? Like, Shuri knows about him before him. Is this Avatar 5 Doomsday? God, I hope James Cameron's done making Avatar movies. Fern Gully, anti-human environmental porn with furries. The Yes Man Star for $4.99 British pounds. I've just found out my vintage 1970s Star Wars cards are worth a few quid. I have over 200. Problem is, I can't remember where they are. Oh, shit. Start looking. You can get them graded now. I mean, that costs a few bucks, but that will increase their value. The thing is with like cards, I used to be really into cards, right? Superhero collecting cards, like the Fleer stuff. I think I still have I have complete sets and binders still somewhere. I like my Kingdom Come ones that are like a little longer. The thing is, though, you can get them graded now. Now, everything has to be graded, and grading is a bit of a scam. Just going to tell you, it's a bit of a scam. And that scam comes from baseball cards. It does inflate the value of something, but I'm here to tell you right now, CGC's a pretty legit. The people I have talked to in the past, and I've worked with them in the past at my comic shop, and I know Eric's worked with them. They're as legit as it gets, but all those 9.6s and 9.8s, it's really subjective. I know they have a process, but yeah. John Papasergio for $4.99. 100% Doom shows his face after Secret Wars ends and the battle world starts, where nobody remembers anything from the past, so nobody remembers Tony's face. There is, I'm sorry to spoil it, but Thor sees Tony's face at some point. I love you, but collecting cards is gay. So I don't collect cards anymore, but I used to. Would it be hilarious if they target a universe and kill a Peter Parker that wasn't Spider-Man? That clank, clank, I'm a tank. That would be kind of funny. That would be kind of funny. Here, now that you said it's gay, hang on. I'm not saying it isn't. Where's my other folder? I know I got another one around here somewhere, but I can't find it. So we'll just use this one. By the way, this binder is worth money. But, oh no, this isn't it. Shit. This is just an empty binder. Well, I'm not going to worry about it right now. I have a binder of X-Men Flair. Complete set, man. I have all the 70s Marvel stickers. Those are hard to find. The video is great for your lives. It's called What If Lord of the Rings Was Written Like Nolan Odyssey? Oh, yes. Camilla. We're going to check that out later. Sorry, could not put the link here. Yeah, we can't put no links allowed in super chats, but if you get them to the mods or somehow, they can do it. Where can I get a fathead thing wall poster? I don't know. Southeastern Kaiju. Explain Krakoa to me. Robert Hayes. Krakoa, the mutant island that turns into like mutant is Israel. And then the X-Men become villains. Now, I only know through osmosis and people talking about like what happens later, like after I quit reading comics, and it sounds genuinely horrific what they've done to the X-Men. And I can't believe I'm agreeing with Gail Simone. She put up a list on Twitter somewhere, and it's like it was an article. 10 ways to fix the X-Men, and one of the ways was stop using the hated and feared thing. It needs to end. They need to be heroes. They need to. You got to like let that go. But so the red carpet just spoiled Sadie Sink being Jean Grey. Are we 100% sure on that? Could somebody, do I have any of my people out there? Could somebody send me a link? Oh, there it is. I've just got it, Lady Greymaster. You know, my pure friendship love for you has no bounds. No bounds. No conditions. Oh, this is sweet. This is sweet. I'm going to tell you why this is sweet, because Daddy just got $1,000 richer. And this is it. Okay. We're going to keep your chat. Thank you. And somebody else brought it up earlier. Thank you. Let's take a listen.
All the characters in the film you're aware of, and without spoiling anything, who is your favorite or who are you most excited to see?
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Jean. I like Jean.
Okay.
She's the villain, but like there's a reason to her madness.
Okay. Is that a spoiler?
I like her. I like her character. I like her character. I don't know why.
I love that.
I like her
Thank you
character.
so much for talking with all the characters in the film
they
you're
say
aware of,
Jean.
and without spoiling anything.
Now, the people are going to come back and say, he didn't say Jean Grey. And he didn't. He didn't. I'm waiting for Chris Gore to send me a damn message. I'm waiting for. I got to hear Jean Grey. I mean, yeah, Jean DeWolf. I mean, Jean DeWolf. We got to hear Jean Grey. So I'm not. It could be Gene Simmons. I got to hear Jean Grey before I am officially $1,000 richer. Chris probably forgot to text me. Should I call him in the fucking theater while he's in a preview screening for Spider-Man? I should, but I won't because I love him. I don't want to make him mad. Now, I've heard like this could be a code name. So I heard from somebody who worked on the movie who said this person was called Jean. And he said it's Jean Grey. I'm not going to call him. No, I'm not going to call him. All right. So this tweet from Rads, who probably has me blocked. Oh, it doesn't have me blocked. Host, your favorite character and who's your most excited to see? Stacey Lee, Jean. I like Jean. Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey in Spider-Man. Brand New Day confirmed. I'm crying. I got to hear Jean Grey. Should I be a scooper? Well, I can't because he doesn't work for Marvel anymore. I mean, I've got other people I talk to, but that one, yeah, there's some people. Yeah, I've talked to a lot of people, but there's some people I can't say shit about what they've told me because I made a blood oath. I will tell you this, though. I've told this before. There is a future superhero project coming out, and it's a project that's coming out. I'm not going to tell you if it's a TV show or a movie. And it's going to, the funny thing is, it would make people mad if they knew. So it's either a TV show or a movie. It's one of the two in the next 2 years that I did some consulting for. Free, completely free of charge, by the way. And someday I'll tell you what that was. Light consulting. But okay, so let me check on the person. I'm just going to throw in a couple of question marks. The Eternals. The Eternals forever. The Eternals forever. We'll get back to the soups in just a minute. I'm kind of waiting this out to see if I can hear. Give me just a moment. Okay. No answer yet. It's looking good. So, and listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But Brian from The Brain Show, from Popcast Brothers, they've done some great work trying to save Stargate, which we appreciate. Brian's a friend. But Brian made a video yesterday. So he has been, and other people in the chat have been, to be fair, like people have like, I don't believe this at all. It makes no fucking sense. And with that, I agree with you 100%. This makes no sense to bring in Jean Grey to a Spider-Man movie. And that's what I told my person when he told me. I'm like, what? I'm like, are you sure? And he said, yes. So Brian is like, no, these rumors are stupid. And he threw up a video yesterday. So when he popped off on Twitter, I'm like, I'll bet you $1,000. And he took the bet. So, and I think he bet Polymarket. So the man's putting his money where his mouth is. So respect for sticking with your beliefs. But we'll find out tonight. And I'm going to split it with the guy who told me. I'm going to split it with the guy who told me. I think that's only fair. I mean, honestly, I should probably give him the whole thing. Yeah, it's Gene White. Hedging. Hedging. Yeah. Sure. I don't usually bet. I don't like losing money. I don't like gambling very much. Yeah, do you think I should give him the whole thing? I mean, he was out of work for a little while. He got a better job. So my buddy got a better job, and I'm very happy for him. So I'll surprise him and just give him the whole thing. But I'll keep an eye out if we get confirmation on the last name. It could be somebody else. Gene Vask. Let's get back to the question. So that's why I've been keeping an eye on it, because I got some cold hard cash on this. Where was I? Genuinely curious. This is from Thomas Maltabano for $20. Says, genuinely curious. If Brand New Day is actually good, what does that say about the director? Is it the same director from Shang-Chi? Yes, it is. And a couple of episodes of Wonder Man. Did he do a couple of episodes of Wonder Man? I can't say. I would say Sam Raimi directed Doctor Strange Mom. Sam Raimi is one of my favorite directors of all time. He directed a bad movie. I love Sam Raimi. So it could say that the director was just given shitty material with Shang-Chi. Now, if he fucks up with Spider-Man, there ain't no excuses. You were given a glorious budget, the number one superhero in the world. Not in comics right now, but the number one most popular superhero in the world. You have no excuses to fuck this one up. So we'll find out. We'll find out if it's good. It seems like a busy movie. So that guy definitely confirmed that Jean is the villain, but she's going to be a misunderstood villain. Like, I don't particularly like that concept, especially with the female antagonist, because that's what they do. They always do the misunderstood female antagonist. So that's kind of a red flag for me. It is. Does anyone else think RDJ's Dr. Doom voice sounds like a cheap mouth of Sauron? It sounds like a bad Russian accent to me. Now, maybe it'll be better when we hear it in the entire film, but I don't know why you'd pay so much to have Robert Downey Jr. only be on screen 60% of the time. So 40% he's a voice actor doing something completely new that would rob the audience of what we liked about Tony Stark, which was his charm. So this will be a villain that won't be very charming. Now, if he's a good, fun villain, but that's not the kind of villain Dr. Doom is. Dr. Doom isn't a joker. Dr. Doom is a very serious villain. Time will tell. First time watching FNT. Well, thank you, Mako Gray, for $5. Gary, I saw you in passing at MegaCon. Might go on one of your yearly trips. When do you usually announce the dates and prices? That will be coming up soon, and it's all waiting for me to get my visa to the UK. So once that happens, then you want to pay attention to Wandering Wolf. That's who I work with, Michael Collins, who does all the legwork for this. Is my brother from another mother. Love that guy. So we will, because right now all the groundwork has been done. They're just waiting for me, so they can announce the prices soon. We try to keep it as cheap as possible. You have to get your own airfare out there, but we take care of a lot of the amenities. Blake, first for $5. Nolan's Harry Potter, no magic. Harry is infamous for killing and wrongfully prosecuting criminal. Hogwarts is racist towards magical creatures. Snape is, it just says Snape is black. I'll finish it right there. Rosen Quest for $30.99. Says, I adore the original Blade Runner, and 2049 and 2099 on Amazon looks awful. The color grading and the shot composition feels like pale imitation of 2049. That isn't a masterpiece either, but I don't trust Amazon with the series. Yeah, I think 2099 is going to make 2049 look like Blade Runner. Did you dig up Robert Duvall to play Sinestro? Looks like him. No, that's I can't remember the actor's name. It's the bad guy from Banshee, and he's great. He's a great actor. So that's a good choice. Sorry, it's made 346 million in its first week, not 342. Google the Week magazine article. For Odyssey, well, and now it's probably up to 7 trillion. Who's it for $10? P. Diddy with the yellow showers. Ooh. Blood Viper for £5 I'm utterly sick of race swaps and gender swaps. It's just racist and sexist in the extreme. Hail F&T. I agree. Has anybody else heard if it's Jean Grey? Yeah. See, this is where, you know what, Mugger Fugger, we could still be friends and disagree on a movie. That seems to be difficult. The Angry Joes of the world can't conceive that some of us genuinely don't like what, well, for one, Supergirl. It seems to have really, it's bothered him so much that he's clung on to the Odyssey like he actually worked on the production to somehow manufacture a win in his head of a game that's going on only in his head, and attributing statements to me and Drinker that we never made. But oh well. I hope it works out for him. I really do. But yeah, you like 2049. I did not, but I still like you. I wanted to like that movie. I wanted to like the Odyssey. I did. I mean, doing a review of a movie and then the audience claps back and then revising your review, it's a choice. We've certainly seen that. We saw that with Rings of Power too. We saw The Access. Some people got there early. They did a review, and then a year later they did my honest review. I'm going to say something really basic, so forgive me. Because I don't think you guys are retarded. Be honest in your first review. Be honest in your review. You know what? Not everybody's going to agree with you. As a matter of fact, there will be people who disagree with you on absolutely everything, and you will hear about it in the comment section. So what? Picard season 3. I heard it for liking that. It's fair. But I liked it. Not being as hard on the Fantastic Four as some people think I could have been harder on the Fantastic Four. And the fact of the matter is, there's portions of it I was fine with, and the concept, but the fucking female Silver Surfer and Pedro as Reed were just, and then Galactus getting defeated by the women, just, gotta be fucking kidding me. So I think I called it the best of the worst, and people still got mad, which is fine. That's the internet. It's not necessarily calling it good. A lot of people disagreed with me on Superman for like 3 months, and then it changed, which is fine. A lot of people disagree with me on Thunderbolts. There's a lot of people who like a lot of people on the F&T panel like Thunderbolts. lot. I think it was like 2 or 3. Jeremy liked it. Oh, who else liked it? 2 more people liked it. Thought it wasn't that bad. See, Counterpart is trash. By far your worst suggestion, Gary. Fair. But like I said on Versus today, I mean, by all means, go to the Odyssey and decide for yourself. Decide for yourself. You know, Mahler doesn't tweet often, but when he does, it's fun. Love my Molly. He's a good boy. So the Odyssey translator Emily Wilson slams Christopher Nolan's abysmal screenplay. I would be ashamed to have written any part of the script. And Mueller says, Drinker has yet to reveal his deadliest servant, the one who will lead the Chud army in war, the one they say no living shill can defeat, the Chud Queen of Oxford. I understood that reference. Little Platoon stated in part 1 of his video today, because he's actually read Emily Wilson's translation, bless his heart, that it's still, despite all the word changes that are to change context of some things, and he can correct me if I'm wrong in repeating his description, it still gets the basis of the story. It's still the Odyssey. Odysseus is still a hero that seeks glory, and so that is still there in her translation. So I mentioned in my video, he mentions it in his video, he mentioned it on EFAP, that despite a lot of people invoking Emily Wilson's name, including yours truly, a lot, and I'll invoke it again, this is Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. 100%. I don't think I'm breaking any news there. I'm still I'm waiting to hear. There's that tweet going around of us on FNT, and somebody's like, seriously, who the fuck watches this shit? Few people do. I'm a scooper. This all could have been avoided with a simple Armand Asante cameo. Dan Vask, you're right. It could be like the Masters of the Universe cameo, Dan Vask. Odysseus is at the gym, and he sees Armand Asante. And Matt Damon goes, am I the right guy for the role? And he just goes, no, and walks out. Yeah, there's a Ian McKellen reading of the Odyssey that's on Audible. Ian McKellen could read me instructions for toilet paper, and I'd listen. Well, if there wasn't any of the so it's Universal who really pushed the casting. I mean, they made sure Elliot Page and Lupita Nyong'o were on the red carpet, and then everybody's rightly so with Lupita Nyong'o. Like, she's barely in the movie, and her significance isn't really hers. It's the removing of what was the motivation for the sack of Troy and the war in Troy. So she, and then having her be Clytemnestra being her twin makes no fucking sense. But like, I could have gotten over that pretty easy, to be honest with you. I was like, stupid, but show me the rest of the Odyssey. So you take all that away, and I think the most people would have been complaining, and people did, about Matt Damon playing Odysseus, right? And Matt Damon's a good actor, and it's not like he put in a bad performance, It just kind of was there. It existed as a thing that is not memorable. It is a room temperature glass of water in a beige room. That's what it is. It's a thing that exists. Yeah, Gore forgot about me. Gore forgot about me. Here, I'm going to just put Jean Grey. I'm sorry. I'm scanning down. Steve Lacy spoiling Jean Grey's role. What? He doesn't say her last name. I need this to be 100%. We're so close. Don't you forget about me. Well, he's probably enjoying the movie. That would be my guess. And not thinking about his old pal, Gare, and the $1,000. Is he going with Alan? Yes, he went with Alan. He did. All right, the ring is mine. Hal's just keeping it warm. It reminds me of the Batwoman line, when it fits a woman. It kind of does, Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. Thank you for the $5. Did you see that Bon Jovi saved a girl from ending her life? I guess we should give it a shot. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. I want John Bon Jovi to full-time be on the suicide hotline, because he's obviously much better at that than writing and singing songs. I mean, good for Bon Jovi for saving the young lady. Props. Stop singing music and raping my ears. And please take Bruce Springsteen and Pearl Jam with you. Griff Nizzle for 20. Oh, great. The Lanterns bad guys are going to be right-wing gun-carrying Texans. I'm shocked to tell you. Well, yeah, they're going to be manhunters. Probably as right-wing gun-carrying Texans. What was the source of the Odyssey saying this is a victory for DEI? The Access Media. The Access Media. I said in my first video that I speculate that this is Christopher Nolan reinforcing Hollywood's ideas, and I haven't seen anything to prove that wrong, particularly with the narrative we're seeing from the Access Media. And hey, it's worked. It's worked fucking great. When the audience called a film bad back then, the studio said, we tried our best and we will try harder. They never called the audience names. No, they didn't. Actually, that really began with I got to get this review done with Ghostbusters 2016. That's where that began, English Batchers. Mystery Goat for $5. I'm still a Nolan fan, but I feel exposed. I feel exposed of him in his writing. Great at conceptualizing, but he needs John to come back and write his movie. John Nolan. Yeah. I think they're better as a team. Certainly. Nolan's career is not over. I don't think I'll be as excited for his next film, but I'll certainly see it. But I'll also say this. And this was an unpopular opinion at the time, maybe remains unpopular. One of my gripes about Oppenheimer, a movie I did not love, it's fine. He showed a lot of sympathy to communism. A lot. I got a refund for barbed wire before the title credits ended. Barbed wire. Start an FNT rating site. Oh, that sounds like a lot of work. There's Criticless. Criticless is out there doing their thing, trying to make it in the review site world in a time where like it's harder than ever to do websites. So props to them and good luck to them. And they're not infiltrated right now with bots or bias. It's just people voting. It's kind of the Wild West, which is what you want to see ultimately. You might not always like the results, but it's what you want to see. The Odyssey made $342 million worldwide so far in its first week, and my local BFIs sold out until the end of August. That is fucking insane and completely believable. It's going to surpass 1.5 billion easily, says SPL Colorist for 10 British pounds. Yes, I think so. And Jeremy said 1.5 billion. I think he's moved it up since then, but initially he said 1.2 to 1.5. So he'll be right on that one. Thunderstorm for $9.99. 1997 Odyssey 2-part miniseries starring Armando Sante, Isabella Rossellini, and directed by Andrea Canchulis, is better than Nolan's version. I seen the 97 version when I had a head cold. Oh, yeah, there you go. Well, it's more fun. Was David Stig Hansen for $2. Oh, what's up, man? He said it was fun in Cosmic Summit. Was it fun at Cosmic Summit 2025? Yes, it was. I saw you there. It was fun. You probably meant to say it was fun. What's up, David? How you doing, brother? X-Ray Girl is adorable, simp. But thank you for the $2. Hail the tightest night of the week. Been watching since 2020. If I could promote a shop URL where I sell cultural and pop culture garb, I would be super grateful. Jeremy likes James Gunn's Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. He's gay. You could. I mean, why didn't you shout it out? You could have shouted it out right there, and I would have shouted it out. Send me an email if you're still out there. Sepsra. Odin, what was Nolan's percentage of the gross, and how does that affect the break-even estimate? Bad Hedgehog for $20. So I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I heard that he's getting 20% of the gross, which is the most insane deal I've ever heard. I don't know where that comes from. I think it comes from Forbes, and honestly, on some of Forbes stuff, you can take it or leave it. But let's just say it's true. It will not affect the profitability whatsoever. And it will make Nolan very happy because he's going to make a lot of fucking money, and he's in a position of power, and good on him and his agent for doing that. But I would say using that as a cope to say the movie isn't profitable, I just don't. Like, the movie's going to, you see how narratives work. I am more interested in the truth. That's I good or bad. And the narrative will shift to box office. I'd rather talk about the movie. We certainly talk about the box office, particularly when something flops like Supergirl, but it's not to like own other content creators. It is to laugh at the studio that spent hundreds of millions of dollars and had all the resources in the world completely fucking up from Jump Street. And that's funny. That's fucking funny. So we're gonna clown that all day long. But this movie is cultural phenomenon, complete success. And I still don't like it very much. Never going to change that. So let's talk about, like, that's what I get into in my video. You know, after all the speculating is said and done, it's like, okay, I'm going to judge it based on what I saw and give you honest opinion, and you can take it or leave it, you know, and go see the movie yourself to find out yourself. That's great. Platoon's going to be doing, I think he just told me it's 3 or 4 parts. And he is very, 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 very familiar with the source material. And he's going to be breaking down the differences and why Nolan made his changes. And it's very interesting. So I highly recommend, after you watch the stream, you go watch Platoon's part 1. It's fucking great. Odin. Oh, I read that one. Since you're talking Rings of Power, how about Amazon's new Blade Runner 2099 show with a trans woman playing a woman? Ugh. Well, it's a dude. It's a dude playing a woman, playing a human, pretending to be a robot. It looks like trash, and you could remove the dude from the equation, the Hunter Schafer from the equation. It looks like trash. Ben for 10 British pounds. How is it that some movies cost way more than to make games? Like, you could have a 100-hour playtime in a game, and the games cost 10 million to make, but the movies can be 100 million for 120 minutes watch time. Well, you know, as a gaming expert, I can certainly break this down with a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience. And I tell you that I don't fucking know. I guess independent studios are probably cheaper. And how much goes in the game? The big AAA studios are going to pay their people more. They might not necessarily be better, but the reason movies are so damn expensive, runaway expensive, is because unions. That's not the only factor, but it's a big factor. I'm still waiting. Shit, we might be at the time where Chris has done his out of theater review. Well, how long is the movie? HR departments, unions, government regulations, So due to the unions, there's a lot of redundancy. So employee costs. Then you have movies with 21 producers who are all overpaid. And then if it's special effects, and if they're done in America, they're very expensive. That's why they farm most of it out. And remember when digital special effects were supposed to make things cheaper and more practical? And not practical effects, but practical as in the approach to the film and making it and making things easier. That never happened. Funny thing is, AI is going to take over, and you would think, well, that should be cheaper. It won't be. It'll be just as expensive, if not more expensive. Yes, Chris and Alan are seeing it now. I just don't know how long the movie is. I know they won't have previews, so I'm just going to look for their out of the theater review. Let's go to Film Threat. And I'll just keep an eye on it. Yeah, I'm looking on Twitter right now, on X Twitter, and I'm not seeing anything other than that video, which for our bet, I got to hear Gray at the end. The brand new Day USA premiere just confirmed the biggest secret Marvel has been protecting for months. Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. Officially confirmed by premiere attendees tonight. Jean Grey is the villain of Brand New Day, and there is a specific reason for it. But that is still from that video where the guy says Jean. So I tell you right now, Brian is not going to give up the $1,000 for somebody saying Jean. And I would agree. I'm just looking for anything new. Now, Brian says, I haven't heard anything yet, so I'm going to share this. But I'm going to say it's not definitive. Not definitive. I think I could spell that. No, I got it wrong. Yet. Not definitive yet. But here. And I'll just keep looking. How is it that I read that one. QFTG. Question for, I don't know. Dealing with AI here at work to make work easier. Be nice to the prompter so our AI overlords don't target us first. Do you think AI would have written a better script for the Odyssey? No, but I think a human could have written a better script. Christopher Patchett for £5 Has none of you ever been to the Mediterranean? Yes, I have. Tides are famously only a couple of feet. Yes, we mentioned that. I have been to Sicily. I have been on the coast of Sicily. I stayed in a castle that's right on the coast, right on the beach. Andy Miller, UK for £20. Homer translation wars are not just academic disputes. They are fierce cultural battles over class, gender, politics, who controls the foundational narratives of Western civilization. 2,700 plus years to 2017. What changes next, Nolan? Yeah, that's the thing about the culture war. It's always going on. It's not something that's like won and ends. If any of you have paid attention, which I'm sure you all have, because you're all smart, paid attention to history, and throughout every civilization has a culture war, culture dispute, whatever you want to call it. But it's always going on. It's not something that gets won. There's battles that can be won, and both sides get their wins. That's just life. Odysseus wouldn't feel guilt for defeating the Trojans with treachery. He ended the war in a single stroke, saved thousands of lives, and enabled the army to go home after 10 years of warfare. Yep. We're in some kind of Bronze Age, says Ian Carroll's. Garrett killed it with that clip. Jackson loves Nintendo. Says, but will Doomsday be better than Megamind, Shad? Oh, I predict it now. It will not be. I predict that Shad will like Megamind, or as I like to call it, the Ryan Kinnell story, more than Doomsday. Natrum for 300 RSD Dins. Remember, Batman spent 8 years wallowing in self-misery over Maggie Gyllenhaal. Nolan protagonist in a nutshell. Well, Dark Knight Rises sucks ass. So there you go. You are the Odyssey, Harry Potter. Bottom text, says Ben for $2. Shill accounts are pushing diversity in Lord of the Rings and a lot lately. I would rather a black child see themselves in Lord of the Rings than be book accurate. Was a real quote. Why was it loved if it wasn't diverse before? It was loved because it focuses on the one thing the human condition. When we start breaking things down into race, we start playing identity politics. We start dumbing society down. Because part of seeing a film from a different perspective which I'm fine with, is that we see a different perspective. We're not seeing ourselves. That what we connect with a character is the human condition. I have never been a female cheerleader that kills vampires. Yet I can connect to Buffy on a human level, when her mom dies. It's crazy that we have to explain this. So diversity, inclusion was happening pretty naturally anyway, up until 11, 12, 13. And then it started getting really pushed. And it totally didn't have anything to do with the end of Obama administration, who had a lot of influence on Hollywood, had people working. Yeah. And a lot of people from the Clinton administration ended up working in Hollywood too. And they understood that you are providing stories, but it's also information. And anywhere you can provide information, well, you can sneak in your message. And Hollywood has always been pretty liberal, so they've already drink the Kool-Aid anyway. But when you present a message with one side is definitely wrong and you're just bad, and it's a lecture, you turn a lot of people off. When you present a message of, here's a problem, we're gonna present a societal problem, and we're not gonna, as writers, we're not gonna tell you who's right or wrong. You're gonna have to figure it out. It's a little dilemma. Those are the best stories, but that requires a lot of intelligence to write. So when you have like uber liberal writers can still present, a lot of conservatives like Star Trek. Now, TNG definitely leans a certain way more than the OG series or Deep Space Nine, in my humble opinion. But there's a lot of like base stuff in DS9. But those writers, they were all liberal, you know, but it's like classic liberal. So you want to present your message not with you're fucking bad. It's a present your message with take a look at this. It's that simple. But there's so much vile and hatred that goes into, that's baked into scripts now, where we get a Picard season 2 where like they had him in an ice facility, for fuck's sake. I mean, how on the nose can you get? But you get through to the most people when you treat them like people instead of treating them like the enemy. If Helen was black in the Iliad, the story would be extremely racist. Agamemnon raging war to capture and enslave the other black woman in Greece. War in general is a nasty business. It was brutal in the old days. Civilians will be off limits is a new civilians being off limits is a new concept. Absolutely a new concept. Odyssey is in the same universe as Interstellar. Matt Damon wakes up from the Odyssey dream on an ice world and starts crying and deletes himself. Nothing yet. It's got to be the screenings are happening right now, so it's got to be hitting Twitter like more than just this red carpet. Oh, that Cyclops hot toy looks good. It does. I'm just going to put in Jean Grey again, not Jean Gay. Every time I say Jean Grey, the chat goes Jean Gay, Jean Gay. And you know what? I love you. I just want to say that. Everybody's getting mad at the Steve Lacy guy for dropping the spoiler. But the thing is, like, people are going to find out tonight anyway. So I'm going to kind of defend the guy a little bit. Broad could eat an apple through a chain link fence. Says full Kinlint for $2. I don't know which broad, but that's a talent. Nolan's Odyssey shows me we're living in a 1984 book. It just the Odyssey is just one of those, when something's immensely popular, there is no thing that exists that everybody loves. There are people who don't like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I talked about it earlier when Titanic was out, and it was a cultural phenomenon that we have not seen the likes of since. The Odyssey isn't touching what Titanic did. Months and 13 months dominating the box office. It was number one from November to April of the following year when it got knocked out by stupid Lost in Space and then regained the position. I talked to a lot of people who hated that fucking movie. Couldn't stand it. Couldn't stand the song. Couldn't stand the sight of it. People saying James Cameron betrayed him and made this fucking stupid love story. Like, there was a large number of people. Didn't affect the box office at all. So, yeah, that existed. That's normal. It's normal. Yeah, there you go. I hate it. Women loved it. Yeah, I can't say that for the Odyssey. I think the Odyssey is, I wonder what the breakdown is. Primarily a dude movie. So we'll see what is the gender for Odyssey audience. 59% male, 41% female. But the split had evened out. It's getting closer now. So now, yeah, it's 52% male, 48% female. Pretty even down the board. Exactly what you want. Exactly what you want. Strange, you said that Chim, the Woman King, was rewritten and romanticized from the actual history of what happened with the Dahomey tribe. Well, I mean, it was. It was. She sold her own women into own people into slavery. But how many people will want to learn about the real Odyssey because of this movie? There are other forces at work in this world, not all of them evil. Tons. I think, however I feel or other people, I think a lot more people are reading. The thing is, though, they're reading Emily Wilson's translation. That's the one that's being pushed the most on Odyssey. If you fire up Odyssey, I bet you if I fired it up right, Odyssey, sorry, Audacity. Let's see. Oh no, I've got the Bridge Kingdom, Ruin, Carl's Doomsday Scenario, Emily Wilson's The Odyssey. So it's still Emily Wilson's The Odyssey that's being pushed, but more people are going to go and look at the original story, and they're going to find, unless they really look, they're going to find Emily Wilson's translation. But with when the Rings of Power first came out, it led a lot of people. It boosted book sales of the Silmarillion, and I promise you, most of the people who picked up the Silmarillion didn't finish it. But they also picked up Lord of the Rings, so it did. It does have a good effect. It does. And listen, when I Garrett knows this. When I did my Rings of Power reviews and we put a bunch of Lord of the Rings clips, I would just watch Lord of the Rings after my review to cleanse my palate. And sometimes it made the reviews late because I'm like, I would just wanted to watch this piece of Two Towers, and I ended up watching the whole movie. So you're right. So good comes out of it. Nolan makes OD I don't know what this a Galaden shower movie. Trump on side. Andy Miller, UK. What was that? I know you're trying to like not spell something. Oh, golden shower. I'm retarded. Nolan makes OD a golden shower movie. Trump on side. Yeah. So, again, my perspective on the Odyssey. On the woke scale, it's not like Ironheart. What's the wokest thing I've ever seen? Watchmen. It's not the Watchmen TV show from HBO, which is abysmal and the wokest thing I've ever seen. It's also not based. It's just not. Turning Zeus's law into the golden rule can be interpreted a couple of ways. But I was more for me, it's more the subversion of the hero. I didn't even know. I was on Piers Morgan with one of the translators, with one of the people who've translated Homer's Odyssey. And that's the thing he was hinting to me towards the end. He's like, you know what? Don't worry about the casting. I'd be way more, because he didn't want to say anything about the movie because Piers asked him. And he goes, I'd concentrate way more on how they present the hero. Tell me what you think. Yeah, Kelly Jones' wife, the lovely Lynn Jones, texts me and goes, you were on with this profound noted scholar. And I'm like, I'm glad I didn't know. I'm glad I didn't know. Some fucking dumb shit who's been kicked out of 3 high schools. No one is higher tier M. Night, writes the same casualty paradox hero, in quotes, causes his own journey, Memento, Interstellar, Tenet, Inception. Ooh, that's kind of a good point. Visual spectacle instead over story, history ignored. Well, no one's better than M. Night, like by light years. Light years. He's got a shtick, and it's starting to look like a shtick to me. But not most of humanity. But it's not the first time I've been in the position of I disagree with most of humanity. There was the Obama administration. So there you go. I want a Roots reboot with Ryan Kindle as Kunta Kinte and Al Jolson blackface and randomly sings Mammy through the miniseries Black Pill the Woke. Commander Ed Straker. That'd be a good skit for a comedy show that somebody should have done by now and won't because they're all ballless. TJ Jordan for $4.99, claiming to understand the Odyssey because they saw the movie is like claiming to understand the Harry Potter books because they watched the movies. Yeah, it would be like claiming to understand Half-Blood Prince because you watched the movie Half-Blood Prince, which is a butchery. Goblet of Fire is more of a butchery, though, now that I think about it. Highly recommend watching Jonathan Pagoo YouTube commentary. I don't know if I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but it's Pageeau. Beefy 5-layer husbando for $2. Should we get the Bell's palsy checked out? Buddy of mine had that like happen at work. That was freaky. But yeah, side of the face just goes boop. And yeah, he was out of commission for a little while, and it took a long time for his face to get. That was no joke to have the Bell's palsy. And he got better. He got better. My buddy got better. Oh, there's Gore, who forgot to text me. Oh, it's 2 hours ago. Okay. There is Zendaya. What the fuck? I understand why fashionistas like her. Because it's got a kind of a ladyboy element. And again, I don't hate her. I think she's pretty charming on the red carpet. I think she's a bit overexposed. I don't think she acts very well. But they really trying to make her, and I think her and Tom Holland have like kind of a cute chemistry together. But like they're really trying to make her it girl. Looks like she's kind of going for a 20s thing with her hair, but that is not conducive to her face. I have no problem with the dress. See that crazy shit all the time. But yeah. She is just something Hollywood gets their favorite for a while and they really push it, and I'm not sure like she has the talent to elevate like past her it girl stage. Is she going to get roles that are like Academy Award win? I mean, is she going to get serious roles? Because all I've seen her do is scowl in genre movies. Dun, 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 dun. So I love this. Jack Posobiec says He-Man is an anti-woke film. And Tom Connors says, no, it's very woke. What say you? Is He-Man woke? Trying to remember it. A lot of our friends like He-Man quite a bit. Woke as fuck. I agree with Tom. It was just meh. Didn't watch it. Tom sigh. Yes. They all crack us. The first half was shit. The last half was excellent. He-Man was woke. They like looking at junk. He-Man was just not good. Tom likes Gun Superman. Opinion discarded. Gay, passed, not woke. It's okay. He-Man has always been gay. Now that's my that's where, yes. I'm looking for there it is. Oh, that's not the whole thing. I wanted the whole thing. Damn it. I don't know where the whole thing is. Oh, there it is. Oh, gets a little tough there at the end. Oldie but a goodie. Yeah, the most powerful homosexual in the universe. That one got me. God, how old is that? 16 years old. All right, I got a text. No, I didn't. Gosh damn it, Gore. I'm still waiting for their out of the theater review. We'll keep reading. BFI London sold out to, okay, so for Andy Miller UK says that the Odyssey, the BFI London is sold out to September 10th. September 10th. That's insane. Blood Viper for £5 Hey, LFT, thank you for all for saving shitloads of cash by sitting through the shitfest from Hollyweird over the last few years. You are welcome. It's our pleasure. It actually is, like, dunking on Hollywood's fun. I mean, if you want to put it to what the kids say, what the Kino says is we A-log Hollywood. We do. Hollywood's locales. And it's fun. And the reason I focus on the big corporate studios is, as I've said before, they have all the money in the world, all the resources in the world to make these things fucking great. And the new and different ways they find to fuck up stuff is astonishing. The thing is, there are people who want to turn things around. They're not necessarily executives or people in power, but there is the rank and file who wants to turn things around. And turning things around, at least for me anyway, is achieving some balance. That's all. I don't want to see right-wing propaganda. I don't want to see left-wing propaganda. I like to see situations. I like to see stories, and these stories can be opposite of my politics and still be good stories. That's fine. If I'm following a character through a journey that I connect with, balance. The thing is, there is no balance in Hollywood. So with people who aren't terminally on the internet, which is most of humanity, which is good, who don't necessarily see Christopher Nolan as anything other than just another Hollywood director, and considering what we have seen over the last 10 years from Hollywood, seeing the casting that the studio was pushing through their marketing, you can't blame people for thinking what they think. Why would you do that? Based on everything they've seen over the last 10 years, why? Now, Nolan is a powerful force in Hollywood, one that should not be questioned at this point as far as bringing in bucks, bringing in butts in seats. Nobody does it like him. And now it's through the stratosphere. Like Oppenheimer was one thing. This is next level. Doesn't change the fact that woke Hollywood is still woke Hollywood. They're the ones in charge. They're the ones who pay for everything. They're the ones who write the stories. Jason Spudich for $5. Hail the Fellowship. I just rewatched the EFAP Troy episode. They called Black Helen casting years ago. Oh, did they? Great episode with Sargon, Drinker, and Shad. Yeah, Troy has been getting a lot of love. Troy is fine. I like the director's cut better. I think it's fine. But as I said in my video, I have the same criticisms for Troy that I do for the Odyssey as far as the whole the gods is concerned. Hail the Fellowship. I rewatched. I read that one. Blade Runner 2099 series on Amazon will feature Michelle Yeoh and Hunter Schafer. What are the guys smoking at Amazon? Seriously, yeah, like they do one thing that's really cool, and then they do this. I think they're just like, we're going to try to make something for everybody. I just don't think Hunter Schafer. That's a big stretch. Let's just say Hunter Schafer let's say somebody else was playing the character and it was a girl. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in girl boss stories, which it looks like it's going to be, even if a dude is playing the girl boss. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in seeing the expansion of Blade Runner at all, as a huge fan of the original movie. Very proud to say I'm one of the few people on earth who saw it opening day in a theater when I was 12. Heard Nolan placed a bet on when Shad will what? Convert to Catholicism? I don't know. Follower of Christ for $5 says, just here for the Cope Odyssey on pace for 1.3 billion, 8.5 IMDb, rising 4.4 Letterbox, same as Lord of the Rings, and 90% Rotten Tomatoes. Hats off for sticking with the grift. Well, I mean, if the grift is a follower of Christ, telling the truth, I will stick with it. My grift of telling you how I actually feel about stuff, I'm going to stick with it. Comparing the Odyssey to Lord of the Rings is ludicrous. It's fucking crazy. When Ryan rants, he sounds like Edward Norton in American History X. You think that's an accident, Chuck? Nolan is vastly more clever and richer than you. Yes, Andy Miller, that is a fact that I will not deny. Ryan, I made 2 robots that flipped pizzas in the air and all in 2014. It made the kids happy and creeped out everyone else. Were they pineapple pizzas? That'd be a waste. Kata again. Guess he's on your short list now. R.I.P. to Granny. She got hit with a bazooka. Kaboom. Kaplow. What? R.I.P. Granny. Will must lift for $4.99. Thank you. That's all he says. Doom to Loki. What's the matter? TVA got you pushing too many pencils. Shatner's greatest role was General Martyrs. Chaos Theory for €5 says, saw Odyssey in the cinema. Agamemnon was the best bit about it, and he was only in the film about 5 minutes. I liked the armor. I did. How'd you all get a little red M&M on FNT? Oh, $0 for $2. They're going to keep pushing Hunter Schafer out there until his parents get their narcissist Oscar award. Well, I'll continue to not watch. I'll continue to not watch. I'm looking for more confirmation, but I'm not seeing anything new. That actually got community noted now. A little bit. It's at the rating part. Sadie Sink is cast in Spider-Man Brand New Day, but her role has not been officially confirmed as Jean Grey. Hang on, let me listen. That makes no sense. Yeah, it's just that guy. I don't. Is he in the movie? I don't know who this guy is. The guy we showed the video for earlier. I'm still waiting for Chris. I mean, he's got to know now because the movie started at 9 my time. Unless it's 3 hours. What's the runtime? Two hours and 24 minutes. So it's over. So he's probably recording his out of the theater review right about now or chit-chatting. I'm texting him. Hang on. Well, I mean, he should be talking to his new wife over me, to be honest with you. One moment. Okay. Yep, they posted 2 hours ago. Really looking forward to this one. Chris always does that. Nope, he hasn't even seen the text yet. All right, I'll try to go a little bit longer. I want to wait and find this out while I'm live. Gifted PGMD has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership to Rumble. Thank you very much. M. Jord for $10 says the Odyssey was great. Nolan maimed a black woman, offed Elliot Page, and made a Latinx guy play in whiteface. Still, I wanted it to fail so we could call it Floppenheimer. That would have worked for Oppenheimer. One Punch Fan for $3. I am so happy to see a real Greek Kata on FNT. Hail. One Punch Fan says, sing it, Gary. Save Stargate. That's my singing. Mod Eric, going to give you assholes a chance. What do you say we play a little Bangkok rules? Snake Plissken. That's right. Mod Eric for $1 says, pyroclastic flows typically reach temperatures between 200 Celsius to 1000 Celsius, which is 392 degrees Fahrenheit to 1832 degrees Fahrenheit. But this is Mount Doom, so even hotter. Minor Zircon says, I see Kata finally got some time off from Ladies Foot Clinic to be on the show. Yes. Samoa 80 or 801 for $25 has gifted 5 Nerdrotic subscriptions to Rumble. There we go. We have just some leftovers from the Hall H stream. And Matthew Gee for $5. Bring Spawn back. They've had plenty of time. They kind of missed the opportunity. Ricky for $1.99. Dude, Campy is acting fucking gay right now. I don't know why. The Ron Ronick for £2 As a Young Ones fan, have you seen Bottom? Yes. Rick Mail. Eddie Brock for $5.99. For Frontier, please cover the National Geographic Tom Hiddleston Pompeii series. It's an alternate take on survivors and inspired from Loki Pompeii scene. Okay. C Platinum for $19.99. Any predictions on the ending of Brand New Day? Do you think we'll see the symbiote? Yeah, I haven't heard any spoilers on the plot, and I don't want to hear any at this point. What are your favorite historical epic movies? Historical. Historical, I mean, they're not going to be accurate, but Ben-Hur, 10 Commandments, love 10 Commandments. J. Michael Straczynski just has to live long enough to get those royalty checks. When Sony starts adapting his stories, his gain is our loss. Brendan Lucas for £5. When you say classically trained, it implies that RDJ, Charles Dance, Molly's, Anthony Hopkins, Brian Cox, etc. GOAT. But any non-classicals match them? I'm sure they do. I just don't know who is not classically trained off the top of my head right now. Steve McAdale for $4.99. Are we going to have Gene turn Bobby gay in the Mutant Saga? Maybe. Jake Tammon for $4.99. This Lantern show is going to make Green Lantern 2011 look like absolute cinema by comparison, won't it? Possibly. Lady Wendelin for $5. Just read your book. Just read your book, Gary. Excellent read. Thank you. It is amazing that the right people showed up at the right time in your life. Also, Melissa is a saint. Yes, she is. Believe me. Yeah, a higher power was working overtime in my case. Rose for $9.99. I got into Hall H pretty good spot in 2012 and 2013. Oh, I was there with you. Got in line at 6 p.m. the night before and had to sleep on the lawn area overnight. It was fun, but I was still a teen then. Can't do that now. Yeah, I hate to inform you, Rose, that I didn't wait at all. I just walked in because I had a friend working at Con. Timothy Brasher for $50. Gun has already sucked under Snyder and Ayer. They made money, but the girl bosses, Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 84, and Gun's work have infected everything. AI movies are next for Danny Phantom and Task Force X, directed by Walter Hill. The great Walter Hill, by the way. All right, let's get to the member chats here. We got a new member. Richard Lee, thank you. Welcome. And we have Dr. Schlurpo, who's been a member for 22 months. Thanks for being a member for 22 months. Welcome to Monday Night Tights. That's right. Mojo Pin is a new member. Thank you very much. Thanks for all the stellar entertainment. Gary, do you recommend Seven Soldiers by Grant Morrison? I find him to be hit or miss. It's fun. Like some of it's good, some of it isn't. But yes, I'd read it. It's a good read. The weekend was full of good movies. 57 Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. It holds up shockingly well. Soldier 98. I love Soldier. OG Planet of the Apes. PHM. And He-Man. There you go. Horror Amorata, who's been a member for 15 months, having a moment of paranoia. Did I miss the meetup location announcement? No, you didn't. Just get out to Vegas. The location announcement will be on Friday. It's in Vegas. It's very close. So whatever hotel you get on the strip, it's an Uber ride away. It's in the Arts District. So not far from the Millennium Fandom Bar. Josh Kelsey Jr. has become a new member. Thank you. Lady Gravemaster, I cluster post right away at the AM over 30-minute lunch and then right after school before I coach. I can't go live, so X gets the brunt. I get you. Valiant Renegade. Hail, Valiant Renegade. Hail, brother. Become a member. Go subscribe to his channel. I'm just waiting to see if I win a bet. Okay. That's all. Hail Papa Incel. Next movie should be Nolan filming his own colonoscopy, where we get to see him shove his own head up there more than usual. Oh, beware blaspheming Jack. Beware blaspheming Nolan. Chris Yanko is a new member. Hail, thank you. Hail, can't wait to see everyone in Vegas for my first meetup. It'll be my birthday weekend. There will be new Disney ride with King Thanos. Cool character. Really? I don't go to Disney, and I never will. But if you do, that's fine. I'm no judging, but I just don't go there. Hello, Gary, and looking forward to seeing you. Hello, Gary. Thanks for the show. Saw The Fifth Element. Oh, it's so good. In theater on Sunday. Still a fun movie. Holds up great. Absolutely banger of a movie. Gary, have you seen The Burrows by the Duffer Brothers? It is worth it. Ask Badger. Also, have you seen the Mayday trailer or Cassie Coppersmith or Rogan Megalithic? No, I have on Rogan Megalithic. I can say that. I have not, but I will check it out. Anything megalithic, I check out. Put a pool in my new truck. Now we're talking. Acolyte Season 2. I'll put a pool in my new monster truck. I bought a new car. First new car. Do you want to come on the show? You should record your out of the theater review. Hang on. I'm talking to Chris. Okay, out of theater review first. Hey, Brian. Pay up. $1,000. You could send it PayPal, but I don't want to pay the charges. And I just want you to know that that money will be going to a good cause. It will be going to my friend who was let go by Marvel. He did get a better job, but he could still use the money right now. So I'm going to give it all to him. So it's going to a good cause. Ah, man. You know, here's the deal. Win with grace, lose with grace. I am down for shit talking. I love shit talking. I run Friday Night Tights. We fucking shit talk. But ultimately, when it's all said and done, when the fat lady sings and you either lost or you won, do it with a little grace. Remember, because you're going to lose. You're going to lose again. As somebody who's taken a lot of L's in his life, you're going to lose again. That's what my dad taught me. Don't fucking brag about how much fucking money you make or whatever, like, because you could all lose that shit. And also, you know, it goes to being confident, being okay in your skin. So I could talk a lot of shit right now. I could talk a lot of shit about people saying I was full of shit. I could. But I'll just go, you bet and you lost. But Jean Grey is confirmed, just in case I didn't say it. Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. And I just sent him a message, confirmed. And there's the chat going, Jean Gay. God, I love you guys. He said credits are rolling right now. So he's going to record. So I want you guys to keep an eye out on Film Threat for the out of theater review that is imminent on Film Threat. So if you haven't subscribed to Film Threat, please do. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch the hell out of it. But so Jean Grey is the main villain Jean Grey is the main villain for some reason. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm not going to say I love it. I'm not even going to ask Chris what he thinks. I want you to watch his review. I could ask him right now and he'd tell me, but I want you to watch his review. I want to watch his review. I want to see what he thinks. But he said credits are rolling. He gave me no opinion on the movie. He just said Jean Grey confirmed. I will. Oh shit! Why is my keyboard all fucked up? Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to post it on Twitter. That's a big spoiler. So I didn't win shit. What happens? Here's the thing with Scoopers. Somebody told me this. It's not like I dug it up or did some sleuthing. Somebody fucking told me. So I can't, and I don't want to claim credit like, oh, hashtag Nerdrotic was right. You know, like fuck that shit. A buddy of mine told me. And the early reviews from the early reviews from most of the critics are glowing, but I'm going to wait to hear it from Chris. But I will say, like I said earlier, I'm a little excited for this movie. I mean, this is a Marvel movie I'm looking forward to. That is very rare. I'm going to see it on Wednesday. And when I should have been kind of recording another video, I've been watching Spider-Man movies in preparation. And yeah, I wish we had more of this. I wish we had more of me being excited for stuff. I miss that so much. Seeing the Scorpion, even briefly, culture clash is fuck yeah. And I've always wondered why not have a throwaway one-off, have Stiltman, you know, like throw in Rocket Racer. There's a black supervillain, skateboarder, Rocket Racer. Okay, Chris has given me opinion, but I'm going to wait for him to say it on his channel. I'm going to wait for him to say on his channel. What he told me is kind of what I expected. We will see. But and I'm not going to play it here. I want him to get the clicks. I want him to get the clicks. How many genes are there in Marvel Comics? Oh, I honestly don't know. That's something I've never thought about. I'm going to say more than 2. I have no idea Dr. Doom was an Avengers level villain. I thought he was just a surface level Fantastic Four villain, but had no idea that big next to Thanos. He's big as prominence. So they've gassed him up over time. He was a Fantastic Four villain, but he certainly fought toe-to-toe with Iron Man. He's fought the Avengers. He's gotten extremely powerful. He is a character that blends science and magic. He's extremely intelligent. But unless he's stealing somebody's power or doing something like on a basic power level on average, he's not as powerful as Thanos without the Infinity Gauntlet, who's a Titan, or Mephisto. But he is the coolest and most notable Marvel supervillain, and definitely the first notable Marvel supervillain. First appearance, Fantastic Four, number 5. Funny how Nolan was serious about making the Odyssey. He didn't make it a trilogy. They needed a movie to win the awards and keep the rules. It would have been probably pretty good as a trilogy. It would have freed him up to do more stuff. But it was a quick shoot. And thank you, Jesus Davila. It was a quick shoot. It was under budget. A little bit under budget. He got it done early. He's a very efficient filmmaker. Not the best writer of dialogue in the world. We'll just say that. Not really good with sound mixing. So so they're here. I'm going to send you the film threat as I take off. Who is smarter, Reed, Victor, or Tony? Reed. Without question. Kind of the wrong story to be quick and efficient. I agree. Reed by a mile. Yep. I don't know about the MCU, though. I think they're still going to say Shuri. Shuri or Ironheart. Nope, they do not. It's like a titanium that doesn't, his magnetic powers do not work on it. Chris needs to hurry up. It's bedtime. I'm telling him. I'm going to tell him people are waiting. Hang on. Well, now I don't want to text him if he's recording it on his phone. So, yeah, he'll get it up as soon as possible. He'll get it up as soon as possible. All right, so I'm going to give you a link to Film Threat's channel. Head on over there, give them a sub, please, and wait for their Out of the Theater review, which I will also share on Twitter. I'm going to get out of here and wait for their review, but just as we're phrasing, right, Bubba Doom, as we're leaving, Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey. It is 100% confirmed. 100% confirmed. So thank you to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. I appreciate you all. I appreciate all of your support and keeping us honest. I appreciate all the lurkers. Appreciate all the haters. This is the greatest gig in the world, and I have this because of you guys. And that's why we do the meetups. It's a thank you to you, and it's the least we could do. I wish I could do more. So throwing you a party once, twice, 3 times a year sometimes is our pleasure. Our pleasure. So hopefully I see some of you in Vegas on August 6th, but I will see you guys tomorrow on the Real BBC. On the Real BBC. So until next time, everybody have a great night and head on over to Film Threat. And then Little Platoon. Yes, then Little Platoon. Then go watch Little Platoon's Odyssey Part 1. It's fantastic. Love you guys. Take care.